And like that, we back. Welcome back to the To Be Fair Show. I am your host, Johnny P.
It's Q.
And we back. Before we get started, shout out to my boy Old Head Rail. Get well soon, brother. Before we get started, I want to tell everybody to tap in with us on all socials at the To Be Fair Show. That's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Hit the like button, subscribe, get all our notification button. Tap into the chat. We reading most of the chats. I don't know how Tone's feeling today, but we're gonna get to him.
My dog off a five layer burrito. Yeah. You never know.
I don't know how many gonna get read, but hey, put them up there. We gonna show them. We just listened to the J. Cole Clouds.
Yeah.
First listen, go check that out. We're gonna give y'all, I guess this will be the second reaction.
I wish we could go back in the time machine, just rewind that the last week. You know,
okay.
See what was the statements last week? Because I told y'all all this man got to do is drop something.
Just drop. Just drop something. Just drop it.
It's gonna be some
I think that
I think we might have told him to wait a little bit and then drop, but whatever. He dropped.
Is that what we said? Well, I don't know if we said wait a little bit. I know that rapping really well, staying away from like beef bars and shit like that. And well, yeah, well, matter of fact, I think Rail and Tone, y'all just was like, no matter what he dropped, when he dropped, people gonna react and they're gonna love it. And
that's fair.
And I guess the easiest way to start the conversation is I guess it's two-part. Is this what you wanted from J. Cole, and is J. Cole back?
Shoot, I don't think he ever was gone. I think he just released what he wants. I think he does. I think he's an artist. I think he's a great artist. Like, I think Kendrick's an artist. I just think, like with Cole, why I like Cole over Kendrick is that it's not always so like above the mind where I have to sit there and look up stuff in the dictionary and figure out how everything go together in some crazy type of way. And I need to see this episode of The Simpsons and this episode, like you get what I'm saying? Like Kendrick's a lot more. No, he said my audio. I know what. I should be good now.
I hear you.
Yeah, I had to turn it up. I was down. Yeah, Kendrick's a lot more detailed as far as like where you got to look it up a whole lot. Like with Cole, with Cole, it's digestible. That's what make it dope to me. Like it's a degree of I can still understand is just listening. There's some stuff I might have to think about a little bit, but I don't have to go look it up in a dictionary to think about it or figure out how it coincide with this person over here, how this event led to this event, and he put this all into a bar, and this is so dope. Like
who you saying like that?
That's how Kendrick is. Kendrick, you got to go like really like you can give a dissertation on this stuff because it be so detailed, and I think that's a great way of working. But Cole gets it for me because he always straight to it. Like it's like I understand this when I'm listening. Even though first listen to the track, I will say that I had to go back and listen again. It was, but I was catching the bars still. It was so he said so much in so little time. It's like by the time you're thinking about what he was saying, you have to
miss something.
You done miss something else.
Miss something else. You think about the first one. To me, this is the Cole I like. This is reminiscent of Might Delete Later.
Okay.
It gives me it gives me those feels, and that's one of my favorite projects in general recently that Might Delete Later. So I definitely that this was what I wanted for sure from Cole. I even like this more than Port Antonio. Our first listen, I think this is a way better track than Port Antonio to me. Our first listen, in my personal opinion. That's just Johnny P's opinion. Okay. We can argue it later, but to me, I think it's way better. Is he back? I think he needs another one to really be back in that conversation. But I don't think he was ever gone too far. I mean, it's still a big three, but I don't think he's done enough to pull back into number one or number two. I think we need some more.
Gotcha. I guess one. We kind of went a couple different ways. What was the question? All right, is this
what you wanted?
Is this what you wanted from
J. Cole?
I think that Port Antonio would have been like 55 to 60% of what I wanted from J. Cole. I think this is like 95 to 97%. I already kind of told y'all the bar that I just wish he just didn't have that bar in there. Like if I could just keep him from like saying how he killed rappers and martyring them on records, I'd be happy. But like everything else, like if you're just bragging about your skill set and different things like that, I think that it's fire and it's fly. I think that he came out with such a engaging flow to start it off. Coming off the melodic shit, and so like he's staccato and he's piecing up the syllables, and it's and like I think that right now there's an argument. I don't know if I give it to him, but there's a definite argument to say that he's the best rapping rapper right now. You know, you got like King Los did just go crazy not too long ago. But J. Cole, he's inside like a very, very small select group. When it comes to like just purely rapping and like how well he's rapping, I don't think that it's like really a question. And when you pair that with like what he was doing on Mike Delete Later and this right here, I think the level of his pen right now kind of stands on its own. I guess I would also say what's interesting right now is that let me see how I can frame this. He's in a space right now where he's almost not competing with anybody. Let me see how I can kind of frame it. I'm not saying that positive or negative, but what he's doing is like punchline rap, but there's not really any punchline rappers like that anymore. Maybe you could say like some Griseldas and different guys like that. The guys that are like focusing in on like the idea of hot 9-7 freestyle fire bars and laying them across raps to where
that's my favorite song.
Ron just said
3001
fits perfectly. Oh, I thought he said it'll fit perfectly in 2001. But that I guess that's
my favorite track off it.
I just don't like the production on there, but he raps his ass off. But yeah, I think that right now J. Cole, like he's inside his own class in the sense that I don't really know any other rappers that are attempting to punch line and piece it up the way he's doing on a mainstream level. Of course, I can give you a couple like underground guys, but on a mainstream level, I don't know anybody that's prioritizing punches and flow patterns and rhyme schemes the way he is. And I think that like that's fire. Is he back? I don't think that this is a track that you really judge if he's back or not. I think that this is like when Kendrick released The Party Must Die, where it was like a Lucy that placed him, and then like he was like, oh damn, that nigga's like he got a really interesting perspective, XYZ. This is J. Cole, Lucy. Oh, he ain't missed a step. If anything, he done gained a step. His rapping is still at an all-time high, coming off the feature run and even the battle that he just was in. I have to see him like make the attempts to do the things that means that he's back, to see if it connects to be able to say if he's back or not.
Man, I think you said a key. As far as like he's moving on a level that's kind of above everybody else.
I wouldn't say. I just think it's different than.
I think he's like separating himself from everybody else to some degree, like, or separating himself from the mass of things, like the main media and everything. Does that make sense?
You had to keep going. I guess this is what I was saying.
Separating itself.
I don't like. There's and now I can say that what he's doing is different than any mainstream rapper right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's prioritizing lyricism and rap and punches and like that part over like whether it's hits or song making or anything like that. Right now, it's like I'm proving to everybody nobody's pen is as sharp as mine is right now.
I think what I thought was so dope about this was it just reminded me of the times like when you first start writing, or not even just first start writing. When you get to a point where you're good, but you're still down to earth, like where you hear these artists like coming out at the beginning,
like that hunger stage.
Yeah, like they be writing these deep poetic verses. We heard it with Cole before. We've heard it with Kendrick. We've heard it with Drake. Like his early on. I like that this was still, you can still tell he's in touch with the real with life.
Well, and the thing is that, and I guess like if we're right now, I'm speaking more so like first verse and second verse. I think an argument can be made that J. Cole is still getting better at rapping, and like that's the crazy part when it comes down to what he's doing and what he's releasing and what he's done. I think everybody in here, if he didn't have like the missteps with the whole Mike Delete Later project that came around, like the whole Kendrick shit, like everybody loved the elite level of approach, perspective, and rapping that came from it. And to this day, it can't be denied. And yeah, what he's been doing, whether it was the feature run prior to that, the post battle feature runs kind of been up and down a little bit. Like people really ain't really fucking with Grippy. That was a kind of a misstep. But the T Grizzly record was kind of fire. Like he's been kind of up and down.
Collard Greens too. That was a
Collard Greens was another.
Good.
As a matter of fact, I compare this one to Collard Greens, where it's like those certain records he'll drop that reminds you like, oh, he's elite.
Yeah, no, I forgot.
Elite.
Let me stop playing with that boy.
But when it comes to big, like I don't know. I know there's a 1 right now.
There's a 2 too.
I've been said.
I don't know. Like
my choice
I have to
go
see.
change. Matter of fact, as Will said that too. He said, "Question for y'all. I think based off bars, Cole is better than Drake. Consistency wise, he's better than Dot. What would it take for him to be considered number 1? For the record, I've been said Cole was number 1.
But I don't know. Like how do you say consistency wise he's better than
Dot?
Than Dot.
I mean,
I think
he released.
No. All right, so, oh my bad. All right, so if y'all are saying like release more often, or are we saying projects are consistently acclaimed?
I would say release more often. That's what I'm thinking. That, like as far as like,
well, then if you're talking about like release more often, then
J. Cole,
then I would give him that. But
I mean, to answer the question, I think what he would need to do to be considered number 1 is you got to do something like Kendrick just did, when not necessarily a battle, but you got to have that moment where, like, I think Drake's had his big moments where he's been like at the top of the game. Kendrick just had his big moment at the top of the game. I'm bullying niggas at the top. I think Cole got to have that signature moment.
And the sad thing is that he was on the cusp of it. He had already turned like all of, whether it was like the bloggers, the stream, like everybody had already started announcing him as the guy.
Yeah.
As the one.
He just didn't have that moment.
Yeah. It's so like he was right there. The moment was there. It just kind of like it just was that one misstep.
So the thing about that, I remember at a certain time period, we were saying that Wayne was like the best or whatever. Like during his time period. I ain't talking about Wayne necessarily now, but during his time,
his era.
One of the things I realized about Wayne never successfully won a diss. It was never a good thing for him. That was not like, I seen something about that today.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, dang.
Even Gilly was going at Wayne.
Yeah, he wasn't good at dissing, bro. Like as far as like battle rapping and stuff like that, it wasn't Wayne's strong suit.
Right.
And we still said he was number 1. So it's like,
well, during that time, I would say that he wasn't actively dissing either. He only had like the Willie the Squid thing. He kind of did the ignore thing. With Gilly, he didn't really respond to him until all this shit blew over, and then he went on Rap City. He said, "I ain't got time to deal with Willie the Squid." But that's the only energy post like him being an old nigga. He tried to diss Pusha T, and that shit fell flat, and that wasn't like fire at all. But during his era, he just was known for rapping really good, and he ignored everybody that was beefing with him.
I would love to see the what would we call it? The battle between Kendrick and J. Cole, like with it being like, you know, just to see who's really the best, not so much the personal shit.
I think you got to separate it though. I think if him and Kendrick gonna battle, you got to battle outside of Drake. You can't battle with Drake. They
did Black Friday. That's an example of them battling only for the sport, and you could judge each one.
Yeah, like.
And Kendrick.
The only problem is Kendrick smoked his boots.
Kendrick got his balls.
Yeah.
Balls. Dude, that was crazy.
Yeah. What? The smoked boots?
Oh, I thought you said something else.
Oh no, I said he smoked his boots.
Hey,
Yeah.
I think they should finally.
That's
That's the only way they really gonna be able to.
Well,
shut all
I
this up.
don't think
It's
that Kendrick
between one
fucking
of
with
them,
him
bro.
anymore for them to get on tracks together.
Yeah.
I have heard a perspective in which I do think probably like I agree with y'all. Y'all might disagree. I love to throw out there. I think that J. Cole would have fared better losing the battle. In public opinion, like his road back up to kind of like getting whatever you want. No, nobody's ever had an issue with rappers losing battles.
No, that's facts.
Jay-Z went #1 after losing to Nas. It wasn't really about losing, and it was like a unanimous loss. I think that's one of those ones where even if he just left that one record out there and didn't never say anything else.
No, that's facts. No, I could definitely see that because you don't ever get called a bitch if you get your ass kicked.
Like, one thing, the only thing about it though,
you run from that fight.
If he actually got word of what was about to come out within this battle, I probably would have got away from it too.
But it don't matter.
Bro, you don't want to be associated with the pedophile.
But
right?
but Joe, bro, it don't matter. Like he called Drake a PDF file, and Drake's still like the #1 streamer out there. Like they stopped listening to Drake just because of the allegations.
That kind of is true.
And so like,
and my retort to that still,
whatever it is, you better just facing it like a man.
That's also
then running from it. And I don't know. I ain't trying to make no. I don't know what he.
And I don't want to drag, but like J. Cole has also like thrown like he's thrown the personals with like the Diggy Simmons shit. Cole has like did the like I'm trying to end your career with the Lil Pump shit. And telling you that you're gonna be on Love and Hip Hop soon because you can't do this, that.
He needed his career ended.
He did need it. He did need it.
He interviewed the guy,
and then he interviewed him.
He made himself look stupid. I'm like, bro, we couldn't have a conversation. It was like you made yourself. Pump messed himself up, bro. I can't blame that on Cole.
Oh no, but I'm saying like J. Cole, dropped a diss record that was.
But didn't Pump say something to him first? He made like a J. Cole bar.
Oh no, they used to do the F J Cole.
Yeah,
it was like,
and then Cole had the KOD jump, the song on KOD. And they had that
the 1985. That's what it was.
Then they had that interview, and then I didn't see Pump ever.
Like, they was playing KOD on the radio up here today. They got some replay value. What song was it?
There's a few records. I like Kevin's Heart. I like
what was that?
Elevate. I like Elevate. There's one of them where he gives like a really interesting perspective on
Window
taxes. Window Panes, probably that's a top 3 to 5 J. Cole record of mine.
Ron DeWan said Black Friday was a decade ago. K-Dot can't out-rap Cole.
I don't know. Like I've seen the proposition placed out there. I can't say the thing is that it depends on like how we're judging rap. Like I don't want to diminish, and again, I am also a person being pre-battle that I've been on record to say Kendrick hadn't had a fire verse in about 4 years, 3 to 4 years. Like I'm not like the Kendrick stan. I'm more of a J. Cole stan more than anything. Well, I'm a fan. I guess the best way to be fan. Because I try and be objective in some of my opinion. But with Kendrick, Drake, and Cole, to me, if you're a fan of their style of rapping, all of them are like super elite. Like when you look at like 4 p.m. in Calabasas, Drake. And it's like that's elite rapping.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Or you go like some like Diplomatic Immunity. That's elite rapping. Like we remember y'all. What was it? Heart Part 2. We played and we it was like God damn.
I forgot.
But
like I forgot how good this motherfucker is. But
Kendrick, when he's like mind focused on rapping and not just like storytelling or like like cathartic and what all. He's elite. And J. Cole, obviously, like he's put more of an emphasis, in my opinion, over the past few years of like just shitting on niggas and showing that they can't rap with him. And I think that he's elite with that as well. I think when you put any of those 3 in the arena, it's a toss up to what perspective that they can grasp and go with, in my opinion.
And like I'm glad you said that because I think the perspective on these rappers is what makes them who they are, or it's what separates them. Because like where Drake's losing us is not Drake ain't losing us because he's not a good rapper, or he's not good with music. He's losing us on POV. His perspective on life, and we're like, bro, that's not reality. That's not how. And that's where Kendrick was able to like catch him. That's what Kendrick caught him slapping. They not like us. Wasn't necessarily it wasn't nothing about his rapping or his musical ability. It was about his POV on life and how he move and how he act. And I think that's the thing that's gonna always separate him. And it's how do you become and it's not even like honestly, it's opposite of the flex. Like when you're in that level, you don't want to flex on your fans no more. You don't want to flex on people no more. You want to be more relatable. The more relatable, the more like us you can be, the bigger and the better you're going to be. And I think that's where I think Cole has a chance, or he has the ability to connect with the everyday person a little more than I would say a Drake or Kendrick. And I think that's the angle he needs to. He got.
Yeah, I think that's always been his superpower,
right?
When it comes down to like his fans and his listeners. Like J. Cole has been on record saying that they threw the bronze at him, right? That they've always placed him at number 3.
Put the bronze on me.
But everybody that loved J. Cole, like it was like a specific J. Cole fan. Like you kind of knew them or whatnot. And
oh yeah, you could tell them. You could tell motherfucker that listen to J.
Cole. And I think that's cool in itself as well. I forget where I was about to go with this. But yeah, look like we got some audience engagement. We could probably read down a couple of them. It looked like LTO, she done made it back here for us.
Welcome back.
Ron Dewan, he bite. S Will, shout out to the homie. Yeah.
Let me see. We already read that. They are all dope.
That's facts.
She said, I remember J. Cole on Workout. He's evolved.
Yeah.
Even though
that
like, wasn't real
that was
J.
commercial
Cole.
Though. That
wasn't real J. Cole.
I've liked K-Dot more than Cole as long as I can remember. At this point in their careers, Cole will out-rap K-Dot. K-Dot doesn't have any Johnny P's Caddy caliber verses recently.
Well, one, I would say that Euphoria is a really good rap song.
I like this song.
But I would say I haven't seen Kendrick attempt it in a while. And usually when he does attempt it, I'm trying to think, like he's had some fire verses. Even he had a matter of fact, the intro to GNX was really, really memorable as well. Especially if you go like because he kind of told you I'm marching on this right now. Like I ain't even trying to over punchline you, but he marched.
I'm marching.
And that shit was like hard. But then once at the end, like the last 8 bars, he turned the switch a little bit and he started rapping, and he still got there. Have you ever like he kind of went into like the little shit?
I think you have to go back to Heart Part 5 almost.
Yeah, like he raps really well in there. I guess this is what I would say. This is my personal opinion. I think that J. Cole is my favorite because his digestibility and relatability, and when he gives like regular man human POV. I think that Kendrick probably is the best technical rapper. Well, damn. So it's hard. All right. So Kendrick is the best lyricist, maybe. Yes, lyricist out of them. And like it's certain things that he does that I don't think that J. Cole can do. But I think that J. Cole is the best classic rapper. When it comes to like Kendrick is not a big multi-syllabic rapper.
Yeah, I think Kendrick could, like
he's not a metaphor. He's not a big metaphor rapper, but when he does metaphor, it's fire. Like that. What was the Daft Punk line that he had in Euphoria? Headshots for the year, like that. Like those are fire metaphors.
I think Kendrick can really make you feel like you're watching a movie or something when he's rapping. Like it almost feels.
I almost put them sliders. Him and J. Cole are close when it comes to storytelling.
Yeah, they both
like they both can kind of do that.
Like where you can see the song.
With Kendrick though, it's like I think Kendrick has an ability to make you feel it a little bit more. than Cole does. That's what I
Well,
would
yeah,
give him over.
I get
He
that.
can evoke stronger emotion, but it's like Cole has this
He has like more
masterful way.
character inside his voice and inflections.
Even the inflections in his voice,
Yeah.
do that.
It's like listening
It's
to somebody
colorful, more
who's
colorful.
reading the story.
Yeah.
You see somebody reading the story, you got the people who read it regular, and then you got the people who really read it with excitement and stuff.
Use their hands to talk.
I think Kendrick's great with that. Like he makes it like a cinema almost. That's how I see it in my head. It's like I can really picture it. But Cole's a great storyteller too. It's just in a different way. Like
I'll put it better. A lot of time when like Kendrick's rapping, I can almost see him rapping and like saying when he go like the he and like he go to with the high pitch shit. I can like feel like I'd be like, oh shit, like he meant that shit. Or when he go like the mustard, like there's certain things. That he's
the most animated out of all.
Yeah, but it makes you feel like it's
so
not.
So you want to know something dope about the mustard part that I didn't know? Okay, so if you listen to that beat, I found this out. I thought this was dope. Okay, if you listen to the beat, the sample at the beginning is similar to like Ultra Instinct on Dragon Ball Z. Goku going Ultra Instinct.
Okay.
If you hear the theme to Ultra Instinct, it sounds very similar to that. So
it's like
when he start, it's like he powering up. He do the hey, master.
Yeah.
Like when I seen that joke, I was like, yo, that's exactly what this is, and that's dope as a
mother.
And he rapped on that shit. Ain't nobody using that rap thing. Like he actually took that verse to rap. When he said, damn, he did rap his ass off on that one. The first part of the verse was, part of the song was just like
stupid, hilarious.
He was just like playing around, but then he actually got into the ain't no other nigga rap thing.
Got a bone to pick like Seabass.
He kind of like he didn't start piecing. My bad, yeah. He had some of those things, some of those parts inside.
I think it's dope that we actually can have this conversation this year because like last year I remember we was like really wanting this shit. Like we really wanted.
Oh yeah, last year I was hating on Kendrick heavy.
But think about it. None of them had dropped like before like the Drake shit. Like it was been a while.
We wanted to
before we had like all three of them in rotation at once.
Yeah,
like we might get a little some one of them might drop a solo project here, but to have all three of them in rotation and talking about them.
Drake was always consistently dropping. He about the only one.
Yeah. But it just
but he wasn't dropping like he was dropping some mid though. Yeah. Like he had fell off for a while. Hey, man,
he had to go Scary Hours 2 or 3 just because of your album is not good.
What was that other one he had? Honestly, Never Mind or something like that.
Yeah,
like that shit was trash.
The dance one.
Yeah, that shit was garbage.
We tried to
Caliente,
do
but so then we stopped halfway through. Yeah, we was like, all right, Drake. Say Drake.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay. Is there anything else that we want to wrap up on that part? I do think that we can segue into a bit of like another conversation about streams and streaming. I guess I would say, and we can lead this into it. His second verse was my favorite part. My favorite part would be like the last let's see 6 to 8 bars or 6 probably 6 to 4 half. Yeah, like the 6 to 4 bars, even if it's not like the full last half, where he gets into like way more of a POV, where he starts talking about like I'm watching kids grow up
turning into fiends,
where they scrolling on iPads and they're addicted to like technology. But then he goes down the line of speaking about the evolution of music and how now they pushed everybody away from buying albums to buying streams, so you never own a thing. And then he talks about how everybody is becoming like parroted versions of what they see on the algorithm and what happened to human beings and shit like that. I thought that in that part he left Earth when it came down to the POV rap that I do love him for. And I guess I would lend that to X. Did streaming in the streamer end quality music? I'll throw that out and then I give y'all my thesis.
Well, first I definitely want to say like that second verse, man. That second verse was kind of like open mic night. Like I know you remember writing your verses where like especially early on when you writing those detailed verses and you spit, like and you know what to go do at the open mic at a certain point.
Yeah.
Like it felt like that. That's what I loved about that. Like it was so down to earth and still so masterfully written. It was just dope. I thought that. But as far as streaming, did did the stream hurt or in quality music? I kind of would say so to a degree. Like once it became about just getting ears on it, and you can just put out whatever. Like people listen to a whole bunch of garbage, so you can put out whatever, and people gonna like. You can just make it keep repeating, and people gonna listen to it eventually. Like,
well, streaming makes it easier for like non-fans to listen to it. But like back in the day, like the numbers, motherfuckers have to go out and buy the music. You have to put forth the effort. Now, like streamers, you can just like you could put any bullshit out, and if like I fuck with you, like Miles Bridges just dropped the tape because he a Hornet. There's gonna be so many people that listen to him.
He been dropping records for a while though.
But people are listening to him, but
off of clout, yeah,
off of clout, not because he's a great rapper. There ain't nobody going back and listening to Miles Bridges. Oh damn, that like the way we just broke down the first listen. Like ain't nobody.
He is a different version of a rapper. I don't want to shit on Miles Bridges only because I've heard a lot of people really like Miles. Like they put him up there with
stop. Like ain't nobody.
You're not even gonna allow me to like finish the statement.
I've heard some of his shit. It ain't that good.
Well, this is what I've heard. Especially like the Midwest guys that listen to him, like they say he's not like the rapper of like Dame or like some of those guys, Iman Shumpert maybe or something like that. But he makes like the Midwest Icewear Vizzo records at a high quality. Like he does the Midwest rap really, really good. And from what I've seen and heard, it sounds like that. It's not like my bag of tea. To where like I love it, but I've heard people really rock with and they play his shit at parties and like his shit can like he has records that ring off.
But here's my thing. You're a millionaire basketball player. You like if you're gonna rap, take it seriously. Quit basketball and then rap. But what the fuck is that? Why would you? But that's what I'm saying. The streaming area, but you get away.
You said at the Dame. What does that mean?
But Dame takes his shit serious and like.
But like, why do you think that Miles isn't? If people love his records, why are you saying that?
I ain't never heard nobody say they love the records. I've heard people say that about Dame. I've never heard nobody say that about
masters, bro. I've never heard nobody.
Right. How about this? I can. But if you ever watch Club 520, them niggas put him over Dame and a couple other niggas.
Okay,
they're
basketball players though. Like
no. It's only one basketball player, and the other's a DJ. And the other nigga's just a regular nigga. But they're Midwest. Like they say his shit is a shit. Like you'll play his shit around bitches. It just is what it is. But I wouldn't just drag and say that the nigga shouldn't.
Okay, my thing
he should quit because like what?
Well, here's my thing. Streaming has made a nigga like Miles, whether we like it or not, whether it's made that type of rap possible, and I think the quality of that type of rap is less than.
Do you think that
the streaming there? I don't think it's quality. I think you just put
like you. I guess you're making a hard argument because I'm close on your side. Well, I don't know if I'm close on your side, but was Snap Music during the streaming era? Was Soulja Boy during the streaming era?
Soulja Boy started the streaming era.
Was it?
Not necessarily. He started the like illegal. Like I get what you're saying. We can make that argument, but I understand what you're saying. But it wasn't streaming.
It wasn't streaming
era. Like people that they said from like 06 to 012 were the worst rappers.
012.
012, yeah, it's great. 2012. These weren't streaming artists, and they still got big push. It's hard to say that it was only because of the streaming era, and that rappers. I don't know how you was putting.
Okay, I ain't
Miles Bridges and like that.
I ain't gonna play it's only because of the streaming era. No, I ain't saying that, but I think with Instagram, I think social media and the streaming era has made it easier for non-talented or less talented rappers to get more of a push and get a push over more talented artists that have less of a less visibility and less of a platform.
Not even
I will say that.
I
think talent matters less in the streaming era.
I just ain't like you trying to drag on my dog Miles.
Man, fuck, I'm not gonna say that. But like,
I thought that you was giving a bad example, but I get like the overall point.
I just don't like. I don't like the boys from the Hornets need to focus on basketball. They done won 13 games. Like they fuck you dropping a mixtape for.
because
they won't.
You won 13 games. The mixtape got 17 tracks.
If I get somebody listening to my tracks and get paid for the listens, and I got millions of people who might go listen to this,
but you got
Bro,
like listen to an
go to
NBA
practice instead of the studio. God damn it.
Not true. Miles is actually doing like solid. The Hornets' issues is the fact that them niggas can't ever stay healthy. But you got to me.
Maybe you need to go to the trainer.
But to me, when you hear like NBA players break down how much free time they actually have in a day, you probably want him in the studio rapping and doing all the other dumb shit. Them niggas on an off day, they're in the gym, NBA for practice for 2 hours. I think, and that's like from like 11 to like 1:30 or something like that. After that, they have literally no structure. They're able to go home, do whatever. And even like the guys that stay in the gym, like you stay 2 hours after, and then you come back and get shots up, let's say from like 7 to 9. You only have a 5 to 6 hour work date either way. And you have nothing but time in your hand.
Do he rap better than Shaq or Kobe or like Grant Hill or any of them?
Well, I don't think
that Shaq, Grant Hill had a tape.
I think Grant Hill had.
I don't think that Shaq is a bad rapper by like any metric. This is what I'm saying.
Kobe was a better rapper than Shaq, though.
No, he wasn't.
Kobe was
all right,
terrible,
Johnny.
You Kobe was a terrible.
Yeah, he was terrible. But this is what I'm saying. Like it's like comparing. I'm trying to think of. Like he's not trying to be a rapper's rapper. Like he's trying to make like really good fun music. In comparison, like to me, is comparing him and Dame would be like comparing like a Lil Wayne and a Lil Jon or something like that. Like they're inside of completely different lanes of what they're trying to get across. You understand what I'm saying?
Lil Wayne and Lil Jon, boy.
But like I don't like rappers.
No, but like Lil Jon, like if somebody said like, "Damn, who you gonna play in a party first?" Probably Lil Jon.
Yeah,
and it's gonna get like people gonna love it. It's gonna be fun.
But isn't that the problem?
Like, who's a better rapper? Well, like I think that we be getting inside this mindset that we want only one kind of rap. I don't want only one kind of rap. I want ignorant rap too. I want party rap too. I want shit that I can just enjoy and be mindless to. And then I also want really heady shit that I can learn to, that I can give me perspective, all this other shit. I do not want to be like only in the club listening to multi-syllabic rap.
You ain't trying to play Talib Kweli for the hoes.
Depend on what hoes and what the time.
Yeah,
like right. But like if I'm out at the club popping bottles, no. I ain't got to just get by.
You
no, nigga, boss man D-Lo, nigga.
He said, "Y'all got some hoes that's trying to get by, but not them."
Yeah, listen, there's times that when I'm fishing for the conscious Jones, I got a conscious playlist. Yeah. We gonna indulge in some pleasantries and talk about how fire these lyrics is.
Hey,
and that's gonna lead to the same spot that us being at press box, a little bit of that boss man D-Lo rolling and a couple shots gonna get me too. Stats, yeah. Like it's just different plays with different females, different days.
Hey, you know who the woke joints like now? You play and get it off. It's easy. It's Doshi.
They like Doshi?
They like everybody like. Well, I ain't gonna say everybody like Doshi, but that's what.
Okay.
Doshi, that'll get you there.
Okay.
And Doshi fire too.
Doshi
fire too, man. I just heard a new track she got. I like.
Oh, you talking about the one right after the Grammy?
I don't know if it was right after. I just heard it on the radio. It wasn't Denial Is a River. It was some new joint I heard. I forgot.
Yeah, she recently released it.
Yeah, I like that.
That was a response to the Grammy shit.
Oh, okay.
I know I'm getting old because I don't know none of the new artists like that. Like I don't keep up with it no more, but I still want to. Like
Samaria fire.
Yeah, Samaria is definitely
fire.
Yeah. She is.
Because we didn't talk about her on here before. Shout out to you, short.
And she also kind of fire.
She fine.
Yeah,
it's that fine shit. The young boy.
What's
crazy? That fine shit.
The newest good rappers that I've heard about have all been women. Ain't been hearing about like none of the men coming through.
Because men ain't trying to be good rappers no more. They just try to turn the party up.
Oh, you said new really good male rappers.
I don't know how new he is. What's the AJ dude? AJ something. He be on Instagram, but he's fire. But
Okay.
Lil Russell.
Oh,
fire.
look. Well, yeah, but I guess I'm trying to think. Well, I guess
don't know
Lil
how
Russell
new
would
he
be
is.
would be kind of new. There's still some rappers out there, but yeah.
Yeah, where the next Coles and Kendricks at? You ain't seen that. Like, it's supposed to be somebody else who's like contending for that in another generation by this point.
The only ones we have is like you got the JIDs. I just like somebody fix Corday. Pause. Fix Corday tongue. Like he got that lisp. Get like I don't know. It's hard for me to. He be trying to rap hard. I can't believe none of it.
I'm saying Mike Tyson
I
had a
get what you're
list.
saying though.
Like it's kind of like it sounds childish and stupid. Nick Grant is a goat. I just don't know if he's like he's not
Shout out
new
to
though.
South Carolina, yeah.
Yeah. Nick Grant.
Man,
He
Nick
was one of
Grant
those
fire.
guys that like
He fire.
I was like, oh,
But
nobody's rapping.
He
like
ain't even new though, because Nick Grant been rapping for a
But
little
that's what
minute.
I'm saying. Like he's somebody for the past about 10 years in.
Almost 10, yeah.
You know somebody who popped up I forgot about that actually is still making some okay music. I was surprised. Asher Roth popped up on my timeline.
I'd be interested to
He's
hear.
still making music.
Yeah, and the song that I was listening to was pretty dope. Like I was surprised. I was like, yeah, this is. I ain't know it was him.
I ain't heard that name in
I looked
years.
in the comments. I didn't even know it was him I was looking at. It was like him and this woman.
He got long hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looked like he looked like he'd be homeless in Noda.
Pretty much, yeah. but I was scrolling through the comments and it was like, yeah, Asher Ruff. I'm like, oh, that's him. Like that joke was dope. Like,
yeah. I guess to redirect to the question, has streamers and streaming killed good music? This is the POV that I do have. Johnny, you might have hit on it a little bit. So I'll start with streaming. These are two perspectives that I do have. I think that in every generation there has been really bad music. So I don't think that it's really important to like say like this was the start or the end of bad music and bad music getting put on. What I will say is that what streaming has done, it's de-incentivized good music. And like that's the the part where it ends up being kind of like interesting because of currently what's most incentivized is having like a big platform. And if you have a big platform and a push, then like that is what they judge success on, because if you're already generating a certain amount of impressions and streams over on I guess TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, they're looking to see if like your impressions track across platform and if your impressions track to be able to actually convert to streams. Not if the music is good, not if it's anything dealing with the quality of the actual record. In comparison, like if you go from like the 90s, 2000, XYZ, you had artist development. Like you had people, A&Rs that went into the streets and just trying to find the most creative fire thing to cultivate to then be able to do artist develop to where it's sellable to the masses. Now they just want things that are actually already popular, and which means that they got a fan base and it's sold to the masses, and then try to make that a digestible artist. So it's almost working backwards to an extent. And I think that in itself has been poison to the idea of pushing good art. If you look at how Double XL started, when you talk about the freshmen to what it ended up being, it started out as like, oh, these are the underground guys that are fire. They might not be on yet, and this is what we would like the platform. Then it ended up being, oh shit, who has the most traction? And these are the new young guys that got traction, and this is what we're going to, this is who we're going to put on this cover. And the quality of the artist went down from that. I guess that I'll stop right there for that part, and I'll do the streamer after this. What is your thoughts?
I've been I look at old videos and stuff like that a lot, like as far as like the 90s and like 2000s and everything. And I definitely can see like where the streaming stuff took effect, and even like the certain look you got to have and all of the stuff that comes along with it. like one of the things I noticed, if you look at like the 80s, the 70s, the 80s, 90s, for one, the people who were singing the songs was not always like the best looking people. Like it was like just the people who had the talent. It really was more about the talent. Like nowadays, it really like it's taken away from the talent because they're not looking for the talent anymore. Like you said, artist development used to be around where they was looking for artists. Even like I was just watching like the Piece by Piece Pharrell's movie, the Lego movie he did.
Yeah. How many ugly singers existed outside of
Bro,
Yeah, how many existed when?
all I'm gonna say is go look up like
give me
videos. I ain't
4
got no
ugly
number,
singers
bro. It was
back.
a lot. Nah, it was a lot, bro.
Give me about 4 ugly
Go
singers.
look at like
Angie Stone.
videos. So no, Angie Stone, bro, you got to go back and look. I can't even just think of none off gate. But if you go look at some of these singers, look at these classic songs and go look up who's singing the songs and everything like that. Okay. It'd be like, yo, they don't look like what you go think they look like a lot of the time. But we became more about that, about this fake perfection and everything rather than the talent.
Flavor Flav is one.
He's not a singer.
Yeah, he's not a singer.
Okay.
But it was ugly rappers too.
Oh yeah, ugly rappers been out.
Yeah, ugly rappers always been around.
Yeah, they let niggas be ugly.
But the stuff always was more about talent.
Biggie, Craig Mack,
Flavor
Flav. You can kind of run down it's like some ugly rappers.
Real quick. Yeah, but rap
Crunchy Black.
Yeah. Juicy J, they had the whole 3-6. God
Black.
Damn. Nigga on disability.
He ain't even having an attractive name.
Disability check.
Hey, you gotta be ugly with a name like that.
Bro, they had a nigga on a disability check holding a rag to cover his hand.
So Craig Mack would not stand a chance in hell in today's streaming world. Him more Flavor Flav.
It's still ugly rappers. Boss Man D-Lo ugly.
Big X the plug.
Big X the plug. What's the fat dude that's on life support that they be willing out there?
Oh, Dave Blunt.
Dave Blunt, that's what his name is.
I think there's Dave Blunt. If not, he's one too. Because Dave Blunt's about 6.
Yeah, they be willing out fat, ugly people on like wheelchairs now. It's crazy. I be saying, I be like, what the hell?
You can be ugly and rap.
Yeah. Now, that's what I was gonna say. That's because like
Trinidad James,
Trinidad Dave, that was
Lil Yachty.
Lil Yachty pulled Mariah the Scientist though. So I mean,
I don't know that.
You think that he pulled her because the people thought that he was cool looking?
I don't know why he pulled her. I'm just saying he pulled her.
But then Young Thug's another one. Young Thug is a weird looking person.
Yeah.
Hell, Drake's always been a weird looking motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Nah, but like what I was saying, I ain't finna keep on talking about ugly dudes. But what I was gonna say,
damn, is most rappers ugly?
Probably so. Like back in the day, I think.
No, I'm talking about like even today.
Well, that's why they started rapping instead of singing. I think most of them it was more of a look thing. Back in the
LTO
day.
is most rappers ugly. You got.
She said, "Don't be talking about Thug."
Don't
say I love Thug.
We could also say that him and
Lil Wayne is weird.
No. What the fuck is her name? Him and Sexy Red are doppelgangers.
Sexy Red do look like Thug.
I was about to say Thug.
Yeah, her and Thug.
Yeah, she.
I don't know which one is trans, but one of them is.
Oh, stop. One of them. They both wear dresses.
Oh.
I'm not. But see, what I was gonna say, I ain't gonna put it on the streamer. Like I ain't gonna put it on the streamer, but I will say it goes back because, like you say, 06 to 2012, like that internet has allowed a lot of motherfuckers just to have access to like studio equipment and be able to make the music. I think
the gatekeeper has not been the same. The blog era still had a little bit of a gatekeeper,
but it ain't been the same.
But the barrier of entry has become lower.
But I only think that I think it's like, well, what is taking away the gatekeeper is not necessarily streaming, but it's been social media. And I think it's been like TikTok, and I think it's been a lot of these social media metrics have been pushing like what's popular more so. Like it's not streaming because streaming is just the way we digest the music. The reasons we're digesting more of this music or more of that music is because of social media push. Once they started allowing music to be on TikTok, and we've had like TikTok songs blowing up, and you got artists that are getting records just off of being popular on TikTok.
Okay.
Just off having a TikTok viral song. And I think that has opened up the door to more of the metric-based success versus talent-based success. I don't think it's necessarily just the streaming, but I think social media and the Instagram, the TikTok, the Reels, I think that has pushed the labels to start looking on internet, on these social media places for their next stars versus going to the open mics, versus going to, the local record label and the underground spot and finding talent. They just like, shit, I can get on Instagram, hashtag a song, and that's the number one artist. I think it makes it easier for the labels to go get people versus
but and to go where you're at, maybe pivots a little bit, but like they're not necessarily, well, they will get a song that already has traction, but a lot of times they'll get a person that has traction and then put money behind a song that they make.
Well, that too,
because like you already have a fed in like base,
but that's still
that's like the bigger thing.
That's still the TikTok taking over versus and the TikTok being the.
But
open
this
mic
to me, this
existed
prior to like the TikTok legalizing like that whole, because that was its own battle for a little bit. Like the being able to post real songs on Instagram, if you remember.
Yeah.
But prior to that, the rappers and the artists that made it big still was, a lot of them were people that got social media traction first. And then they would like this is where industry plant came from. And well, that's a little bit of industry plant.
It's a little different.
A lot of rappers and artists and people like King Von, he had motion before he had a song. And like you end up seeing that a lot more, in my opinion.
True. Yep. I mean, but I think that was a little early. I think that was more to 2015 to 2020. I think now they're looking at people, because there's a couple people, like you got that dude that got the Kalani song. He wasn't nobody until he had that.
But they get it like
nobody. Like that song. But there's been I've seen artists over the last,
but they be 4 or 5 traction, years. I ain't gonna lie.
But they're blowing up off of songs. Like you don't hear about them until you see the TikTok reel, and then you'll see the reel in a couple songs, and then you be like, "Oh, I like that song. Let me click the audio." And then you go, and I think that's where a lot of these people are going. They're getting Instagram.
But let me ask you this,
and then getting the contract.
But let me ask you this: how did they get it to go viral on TikTok?
I'd have to look into that.
Like typically, it's them having a following, them being really good at social media. Them like it's usually not like artists that's just like niggas that care about art. It's like niggas that be like scamming and then doing like dumb TikTok skits, and they know how to like play the game of like how to like make posts go viral. Then they drop a record that makes sense, and then that goes viral. Then it gets picked up and shit like that.
I see what you said.
But like they build up something to get to that point.
Song.
Yes,
before the song goes viral. Okay, now that might be true. It might not just. I might just catch it once the song go viral and ain't seen the.
Yeah, them kids like that. You know, it's crazy because Q-Tip be playing that Giannis song. That you like?
Oh, that's my shit right there.
Yeah,
that's my shit. I think I found it from a YN page, but but now that's how the honestly though, if you think about it though, that's how the baby did it. Like
did what? I don't know.
Like I remember the baby before he was famous, and he was just doing like funny shit, like on Instagram and shit. And then he dropped.
That's not true at all.
He did have. Now he wasn't like big. He only had like 10,000 followers with it.
The baby didn't. Well, one, he didn't blow up off funny shit.
You know, he didn't blow up.
I would never detract from the baby's ground hustle. So like the baby, like that's being true. Here in Charlotte,
that's true.
Like I've seen this nigga pass out $1,000 worth of mixtapes, free mixtapes.
Yeah, that's true.
I've seen him go on a Chitlin circuit tour from South Carolina to Mississippi to North Carolina of nothing but backwood strip clubs with like bullshit songs that he's trying to pay payola. Now I don't want to put payola on him, but he's paying money to get these spins. And you're like, and he did that at a crash out level until like unfortunately like he had a couple breaks that didn't deal with music, but he had never not been putting out a bunch of music, in my opinion.
Well, no, that's fact. Because now he didn't blow up off of that shit. That's just what
that did help him blow.
That was what he was doing beforehand. But like, yeah, I get it. He grinded. He grinded
his ass.
I ain't gonna put that on him. He grinded.
Oh no, man, putting the ugly singers in.
Oh yeah, what he been saying? And let's know what LTL. What you talking about too?
Oh yeah, Up said his name was some ugly singers.
He said every member from the Ohio Players.
BB King, every
Nigga
member
said
from the Ohio
Columbus,
players.
Cleveland, and Cincinnati.
Bobby Brown, and the other members of New Edition.
Oh yeah. Now listen. New Edition, they was some funny looking boys.
Man, leave
Like,
Ralph
like
alone.
it's certain niggas that look like they was like meant to grow up in the 80s. Like the 80s had its own different little look back. I ain't gonna lie to you. Never mind. I ain't gonna drag.
James Brown, India Ari, Betty Wright. This is Betty Wright right here.
I don't know. Is she? I don't know if she ugly. Damn.
You find another picture, bro. Like that's a tough picture to decide.
Because you can't see it from that far back.
It don't get no better. You ain't gotta.
I didn't think that first one was bad, but some of these other ones.
Yeah, don't put the other ones up there, bro.
She be a clean up woman, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, they go one.
Yeah, the one with her with the side A.
She got them eyebrows though.
I wouldn't drag on that though. I wouldn't say that was bad.
Oh man. We'll be able to show.
No, you ain't got a shot.
You can.
They got to see what we're looking at, bro.
Yeah.
Oh. Then he said, Drake looked like Cro-Magnon, man. Before his surgery.
So in my opinion, if you take away the eyeshadow and all that shit, y'all just dragging on that, just saying that she's an ugly girl.
I didn't say she was ugly
that
at
picture
all.
ain't bad.
I'm asking a regular question.
Overall,
go to the one on the right top right.
Like, it looked like she picked up some weight under her chin.
Where you said?
Right there, the one right at the
that
bottom
one,
right.
Go to
bottom
that
right.
Oh, go to that one.
That's a decent.
I think all these are like the same decent, like depending on how her hair is. But you
no game.
But go to that one all the way to the left where
Right
she got
here.
it look like she a slave or something.
Oh man.
Actually, when it gets bigger, I see the vision.
These young
like that's
photos
80s.
too.
Yeah. When she like started gaining weight in her neck, I think that's when
Unc
she lost
talking
it.
about.
Yeah, he probably talking about
That's
during
what
that
Unc
time.
talking about.
Oh, he said Sly from Sly and the Family Stone.
Oh, I don't know what she looked like. Yeah.
Oh, nah, Sly's is
she white?
No, Sly and the Family Stone.
That's
the group Drake's uncle was in.
Oh,
his uncle played bass in that group.
Okay.
Larry Graham. I just seen their story the other day. They was pretty dope. They had a mixed group.
Just do Sly.
Yeah.
From the Family Stone.
Let me see. Yeah, Sly.
He looked like Gil Heron.
Gil Scott Heron.
He was a radio host and everything before he became an artist and stuff too. He had a unique voice. But Sly is like, if it wasn't for Sly, it wouldn't be a lot of hip hop songs.
That nigga look like Trinidad
James. I was just about to say that shit, bro. He looks just like Trinidad too.
That brother looks like Trinidad James.
I
do want to like start.
Hey, shout out to him though. He got a new documentary that just came out on Hulu. It's pretty dope.
Okay. All right.
Nigga.
So I guess to continue us, we doing all right on time. My other piece that I do think has helped in quality music is I think streaming has been a part of it, and the avenue that I talked about in streaming has been a part of it, partially and primarily because of the streamer / music commentator of today. I think that there used to be a time where when you rated music, you would rate it off like how great. Like if you go like the source, how many mics this record is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made a record really good. Once we got into like the streaming and music commentator era, I think that sales became so much more prevalent. Like, what's your first week sales? I didn't know that to be as huge until like I think Academics was one of the first people.
No, Kanye and 50 had that whole.
Well, Kanye 50, but that was like a blip, and everybody sold back then, in my opinion. Like you didn't judge how good the albums were.
Platinum, like I remember going platinum the
first week. Yeah, like niggas sold.
And then they was strategically placing their albums out like where it's not my album ain't hitting with this person's album.
Well, that's what
that a little bit, yeah, in the 50 and Kanye. But to me, like that was the first time we seen like who's going to sell more, being a metric.
And that was actually a dope competition for both.
Yeah, like I thought that was cool, but still, we still ended up judging the album. That was like Curtis versus Late Registration or Graduation.
I think it was Graduation.
Like why we love Graduation is not
because it was just a better.
It was a better album.
Project. Yeah,
and it felt good. Like Good Life versus I don't even remember what was on Curtis.
Who knows?
Like Good Life was the Jake though. Like
yeah, and but saying all that
we
to
like
say,
the girls who ain't on TV because they got more ass than the models.
Good Life.
but saying all that to say that when I've seen it become like the biggest, like most prevalent thing has been during like this new version of like first week sales. How much did you sell first week? And that being the metric on if it's a successful album or not. It's never if the album was good, if it's critically acclaimed. It's damn, that album sold 10K. It's a flop. It's trash. You're going down. Not if the quality of the music was great.
Can I ask you a question?
Also let me finish rounding off. Then I'll or does go ahead. Actually.
No, the question got to deal with this. So, has there been a time where you had a critically acclaimed or like because I don't remember?
Reasonable Doubt, Illmatic. Like you can kind of run.
I'm talking about in the streaming era, like a classic that hasn't sold. With
Nipsey. That was a slow burn. Nipsey was a slow burn.
Nipsey, what, Victory Lap?
Yeah, they didn't do crazy numbers first week.
I don't remember first week, but I know that was it got the numbers. I don't remember how.
What was the first week? Like when you say it got the numbers, I think it was a slow burn and like over time, I think it did. I don't think that when it dropped, it just was like, oh, he's number one.
I think it went number one.
I'm trying to think of somebody who has dropped like a classic, like what you like, where it's like you got like no matter if it was in the streaming world or in the
I think people have done that. Oh. Where like you've dropped like certified classics inside this era.
I mean, yeah, he debuted at 4, but he only sold 53,000.
Right, but the album is
classic, critically acclaimed.
It's critically acclaimed.
Okay, that's classic. So that's what I wanted to see if there were examples of it. And I guess
like there's some people that had the slow burn for sure, but you also had to have the
realize that. Damn, that's crazy. I did not realize it only did 50.
But saying all that to say, I guarantee you when it dropped, academics would have said flop. This shit was trash. It wasn't XYZ. And
I don't know about that part.
But again, the metric in which during the streaming era and how people quantified, especially like specific streamers, the ones who are first number.
Okay, I see.
They quantify success of an album on the metrics, not on the quality of music. That's an academic take. But I also would say that I think that as much as we love them, like the Joe Buttons, the Rory and Malls, a lot of guys, academics is another one, who focus on lifestyle and even more so like the back side of the music when it comes down to the product of what's presented, actually take away from the art because of they put a hyper focus on like all these things and not on if the artist on the artistic integrity side delivered on a project.
I can agree with that.
And like you hear them talk about like, oh, this person's like, and it's such an emphasis on like their dating life, their like what they're doing beforehand, who they shaking hands with, what clothes they got on, like all these dumb shit, and not specifically on is the project good, and if it's good, will we only judge them on that?
No, that's fact. I think a lot of artists nowadays, like even when you see motherfuckers,
they try and date fucking stars and dumb shit.
That's what happened. You see them go on their promo runs.
Mm-hmm.
There's promo runs now, and none of it be about music. They be going on. What's the YouTube where they eat the hot wings, hot ones.
Yeah,
they be going on the Breakfast Club and saying gay shit to Charlemagne. And saying no homo and shit.
Shoot, the music industry's become the WWE.
But basically, there's like there's a circuit that you have to go through in order to like be a star or to get the metrics that you're looking for to make it to where you can have a career at it. You got to go talk to Angela. You got to go do the podcast circuit. You got to go do the radio circuit, and they don't go and talk to you about they don't be like on track number 3. You said this. A few of them might, But for the most part, they talking about you said
Right,
this on
right.
this
This is the
interview.
fact.
You
It's
said
not a
you're
musical
dating this
breakdown.
person. You and your baby mama got into a fight on Instagram about this. That's what all the interviews be about. You'll watch an
That's a
hour
fact.
long interview with the baby or any of these artists on the Breakfast Club, and they might talk about the music for 5 minutes.
And
And
this
then
is
the other 55 minutes is bullshit. And then we wonder why artists don't focus on music.
I'll tell you what, though, in this time period, just what you were saying right there just got me to thinking, like, if like people who are in the podcast world, this is a perfect time where it's like, if you are like trying to do a podcast where you're addressing just the music and focusing on the music and talking about artist music, people looking for that.
I agree with it. Because of that's what like, even when you look at like what the Hot 97s and like those interviews used to be, it used to be, especially prior, like the physical era, they would send out the album a week or two in advance. Same difference like when Source, they're going to give you the mics before it drops and shit like that to build the anticipate. You send out the album a week or two in advance, allow them to sit and listen to it a couple times, and then the interviewer, they're going to have questions dealing with the songs,
I'll say
the records, like your artistic direction that you went in with it. In comparison to now, it's like, well, you tweeted this. Well, we see you walking around at Maggiano's with this shorty, and
like, this ain't going to Maggiano's.
Whatever the fuck. It was the first spot that I thought of.
Ain't no rapper taking no chick to Maggiano's.
You don't think they can slide to a Maggiano's?
Shoot, I go and get the leftover plate to leave with.
Ain't no rapper going to Maggiano's. Nice, but they ain't got the back room.
Well, if I was a rapper, I'd still go there.
I ain't gonna lie. I done seen regular artists and basketball players over at Steak 48.
No, that's a Steak 48. That's because the Steak 48 got the back room where they let you
wear. No. Russell Westbrook was sitting right there in the front.
I'm saying Steak 48 got. I've seen the back room where they let you wear the hats in the back and where you.
Oh no, I get you talking about that shit. But like I said, like Russell Westbrook was just chilling.
That's because he regular. He ain't got to be on that. Never mind.
What you mean? This wasn't like this was still Westbrook during Westbrook.
Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of Russell Wilson. Never mind. I was thinking Russell Wilson in my head. You said Westbrook.
Yeah,
he's a nigga. He's a nigga. He's certified.
Certified nigga. You want to read a couple of them? I look like we might have had some more. Maybe you just scrolled down.
I think I just scrolled down. We already pretty much read these.
Doshi sold 11K. Yeah, Doshi's another good slow. She's a slow burn. I think that her artistic integrity has pushed and like been able to give her the push over the past 5 months or so. I was recently just seeing like a little, and maybe I put it inside as like a meme, and oh damn, I guess it's probably a good time to go to meme. We can talk about Doshi on my meme, so I ain't even gonna drag on it. Johnny, Tone, y'all ready for these memes?
Yeah, let's get.
Hey, you know what? Fuck it. We adding Tone in this one. Y'all can't see Tone from behind it.
He gonna lose,
but I'm about to beat Tone ass in rock paper scissors too.
All right, let's get.
Get your ass. Get him
right here.
Hey Tone, you get your
Get out of here. I already know what you gonna do, bro. You ain't tricking me. I watch you too much. All that talk.
All right, what's the order, Tone?
Shoot, we'll start it off. I want to go last, so we'll start off with normally everybody else want to go first. See, I want to go last. Q Johnny Me.
Okay. I fuck with that order, bro. You ain't salty like somebody.
All right, let's
shut up, my dog Red.
All right, I had some fun on these ones. All right, perfect.
I wanted to go last before politics. So
before we get into Dosi, shout out to the homie Nige. This is the anthem for Trey and Johnny P. Right there in the middle.
Hey, don't y'all me. Don't y'all me. Don't y'all me.
And you nasty, clap your hands. If you're a white girl and you nasty, clap your hands. If you're a white girl and you nasty, let me see you shake your ass cheeks. All my white girls, if you nasty, clap your hands. I like. If you're a white girl and you nasty, clap your hands.
That's tough.
No, this isn't the one when he dropped the record.
Oh shit.
Hey, shout out that boy Nas.
Yeah, not just he's a veteran of the show. I'll tell him to come check this out in a little bit. But that one's for you and Trey. Shout out to all of our Snow Bunny lovers.
Hey, hold on, no. I love all women equally.
But do you love Snow Bunnies too?
Extra special.
Like
no, I love black women. White
no,
women,
not.
Asian,
I'm not saying above. You ain't gotta put nobody above. But do you also like Snow Bunnies?
Yes. Is that a category of woman?
Yes.
Okay, then. I like women.
You like women, which includes Snow Bunnies.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah. Okay, I thought you were gonna add something else.
Okay.
I don't like those, but
Johnny said that he likes nasty snow bunnies. Dirty snow bunnies, if you may. But if you can go to Dosey at the top. I wonder which one this is. What he probably is.
Of course it would go that way.
Great artist, better rollout. Doechii just won a Grammy for Rap Album of the Year and has Kendrick Lamar publicly giving her praise. But her mixtape rollout strategy broke every music industry rule. And let me show you exactly why it worked. Most artists spend months planning releases. But Doechii called her label and said, I'm dropping a mixtape in 30 days and I haven't written any of the songs yet. Then she slept in the studio for a month straight, creating what she calls therapy through music. And here's what made the rollout genius. Strategy 1, platform-specific content. Her Instagram is what showed off her aesthetic and brand message. Her TikTok showed the raw, unfiltered personality. And YouTube was the home for deep, reflective content, including an 11-week docuseries called The Artist's Way. Each platform showed a different layer, but all felt authentically her. Strategy 2, weekly releases. Instead of just dropping 1 or 2 singles, she released something new every single week, building anticipation and training her audience to expect new content consistently. And strategy 3, fan integration. She created style guides that let fans become a part of her world, instead of just feeling like they're watching from the outside. And here's the most important part that most people miss. While other artists chase external validation, Doechii went 100% all in on trusting her gut instinct. And this wasn't just a marketing strategy. It was an artist who spent years developing her philosophy through books, reflection, and self-work before her overnight success. Great artist, better rollout. Doechii just want to
hit refresh on it real quick.
Hey, Shorty got a 5 too.
Yeah. Not on that. Yeah, just on the.
It did its own thing, bro.
I like what I see.
I don't know what it just did there.
Reverse.
Reverse. You should see top left. This is Gary V in 2001 talking to Dosey.
Recording artists in the next 5 years. I just think you're going to be very, very, very known. This little session will be something that you will reference in 44 months. Why? Because Doech is going to give an insane performance at the Grammys or have the song that everybody on earth is talking about.
Can I ask you something, Gary?
Yes, you can.
What is it that makes you believe that?
What I felt. Your originality is what struck me.
I wanted it to feel like I let you in my diary. You know?
Correct. That's exactly what it is. Everyone, please check out this incredible young superstar's music. Most successful
honestly, though, that's
recording artists.
Gary V. That's why people fuck because he be. I ain't gonna say he be knowing everything, but he be in touch.
On it. That's an interesting one to call in 2001.
He said 44 months. That's very specific.
All the way down to like the Grammy performance.
Like to
like the different little shit. Yeah,
he caught and honestly, like I pride myself on like Doechii was one of the ones I was late on. Like I came and I was like, oh, and then I kind of slept. And I was like, nah, it ain't gonna be. And then a few months, I was like, oh, that's that same chick I seen a few months ago that I ain't hit save.
Yeah,
and now I probably should have hit save on it.
A
little earlier, but then
so you could drag.
I could brag. I was like, that's one of them ones because that's when I was on it. But I slept on that one. But yeah, to me, she's definitely like one of my favorite. I love her style, love, like he said, the originality. And I've been doing some going back, like in even like some of her old shit where she was just freestyling on the bed and shit. Super far fire artist.
For sure. If you can go to 3 of the easiest defenses to break. Top right.
Top right.
3 of the easiest defenses to break. Number 1 is, I hope you ain't think we was gonna do anything. I love hearing this. This is my favorite thing to hear. This is the equivalent to hearing, shooter, yeah, shooter, hand up. Yeah, she's afraid, fearful. She's trying to verbally fight back her temptation. She knows the power that you possess. You feel me? That's the only reason why she felt the need to say that. That could have went unsaid, bro. Okay? But she felt the need to make this announcement, okay? Put it into the atmosphere when nobody was thinking it. That wasn't on nobody's mind, nigga. It's like your mama being like, oh, surprise, don't be expecting no surprise birthday. Nigga, I wasn't expecting no surprise birthday until you said that. Okay? So fellas, it's like a little heavy. They just a little heavy to try to get you to jump.
Yep.
You knock off your pivot. Be unfazed by it. Don't even bite, my nigga. Okay? Because don't take it as a challenge. Don't be like, oh, you want to bet? Oh, you want to see? I'll bet. Oh, we gonna see. Nigga, just be cool, bro. Okay? Get into the game, size him up, and it's a free game, nigga. You can size him up and then boom, knock it down on some easy shit. Or nigga, size him up, nigga, and then drop the ball. Okay? Because now she gotta be mindful of the words she said. Baby, you said we weren't doing nothing. Okay? So what? Baby, we ain't gonna do nothing. Yeah. Nigga, it's a mental game, nigga. It's a mental game. All right? Number 2 is oh, I don't normally do this. Oh, I've never done this before. She, in fact, is very skilled with whatever she's about to do. Okay, she has a lot of experience doing it. Okay, it's the same things that be like, damn, I hooped in a minute. It's been a minute since I hooped. Nigga, get on the court and bust your ass. Okay, right. She's trying to get you, just trying to knock you off your pivot, knock you off your game, put your guard down. Okay, she knows that she's done this before, and she wants to. She's just trying to boost her image. With all of these defenses, they just trying to boost 3 of the easiest defenses to break. Okay. One is. I hope you think we're trying to do it.
There was one that I think it should have
3 of the easiest defenses.
Nah, I don't.
Oh damn, I don't know why I started over. But yeah. Nonetheless, I thought that was that was funny.
Don't think we about to do nothing. Yeah, you hit her with the pump fake.
Normally do this. That
Go
right
to the
there.
hole.
What are some defenses that you got? You got a play call for?
I don't know, man. I don't see the defense when I'm in the zone. I don't even see the
Johnny. That sounds wild.
Well,
That sounds like that sound like you a places.
oh,
I ain't trying to get close to the word.
oh no, I'm just
They put an R over there.
I ain't saying that. I don't say they don't exist. Let me stop. This example.
Yeah, you ain't going nowhere. Y'all seen that video where dude be like, beating women ain't it's never beating anybody's good.
Do you think it's wild? Do you think it's wild?
Yeah, he said, well,
do you think it's wise if I say shut the fuck up?
And you keep talking? Yeah, that's what that sounded like. I'm trying to save you, Johnny.
That's why I stopped, bro.
Nigga said I don't see defenses when they
I don't see the defense, bro. I'm in the zone.
Hey, I can't even think of none right now though. Them 2 was good.
Okay.
Oh, well, nah, that's not.
Go ahead, say it, Johnny.
Nope, I'm done.
No, say it.
Done. Now, let's move on.
No, say it for the pod.
You got
we need content today. What's up?
No, because it's a different context.
Go ahead.
Different context.
Say it within a context that we understand.
Well, the thing I was gonna say, that's just like a brother to me, but that's not defense. That's like a screen. That's
kind of defense though.
Now, if she
how do you work your way around the brother?
She said,
the brother.
Yeah, you just like a brother to me.
That's like, yeah, I think you like you said that could be like a ghost screen. It could be an on ball pick. When Shorty say, you like a brother to me. How do you break down that defense?
Oh, how do I break down that defense?
How do you break it down? Nigga?
Oh, I tell us blood thicker than water.
You say blood is thicker.
I don't know. I got a.
You ain't never got the friend zone shit, and then you made your
I
way
ain't
out.
never got a you like a brother to me.
You ain't never been a brother, and then you pop.
No, I ain't never been a brother and pop. I don't get to brother level.
Oh,
I don't get now. I was gonna say I was thinking about like I've heard that, like she say that about somebody else, and I'd be like, no, that's cap. I can see through that.
Oh
but
yeah.
But that's different. That's an offensive game. That's like that's
that's her offense.
Yeah, that's the offensive game. That's not me on defense. That's me on defense. I call that out. I see the screen. I call that
like
out.
a step brother. That's funny.
Like a hell yeah. Little brother. Oh, little booties need love too. Okay.
Oh, women. I think that's like. What's a defense that's easy to score on?
Defense.
That's like if you're going man deny and you got a good ball handling. And
say,
I know ain't no help coming.
Solo.
Yeah.
Solo.
If you throw hints off, especially like females, in my opinion, where like you throw things that can already be taken in context, I think of it as a layup. And I then I place myself in a deciding the deciding seat of if I care to or not. But I ain't really a fan of like Easy Box.
I like Easy Box. No.
I mean,
I'm not a big Easy Box guy.
Like,
Johnny, you an Easy Box man?
Ain't nobody a fan of like Burger King, but sometimes you gotta eat it. Sometimes you.
You eat the Easy
Box.
I ain't saying no.
What? That was egregious.
Sometimes you go to Burger King. Sometimes you go to Burger King. Not like eat the.
My nigga went to Arby's.
He say he would have it.
Roast beef, goddamn it.
I ain't say eat it like that, but like,
how else did you say it?
I mean, sometimes you just go to. Sometimes you buy some Burger King. You just get some Burger King because you in a pinch. You just need some Burger King. You ain't like a fan of it. But
sometimes I eat it though. It could be ran through.
Somehow I want a little bit of a dollar menu or so.
There's a couple other niggas took a bite.
Value menu or so.
I savor my McChicken,
my McGriddle.
No,
Johnny, never mind. But yeah. I guess if I'm going, where did I go? 1, 2, 3. Could you go to? And this is why stats do matter. I guess this would be an easy little meme for that. You see Charlie Kirk in the middle, right beside Nigel. Click that. I think this is fun. We can.
Black Americans are about 13 to 14% of the population.
Yes,
about half of all prisoners are black.
Exactly.
So blacks commit more crimes than whites do. They commit more murders. They commit more arsons. They commit more kidnappings. For example, blacks are 13% of the population and they commit 58% of all the murders.
Okay. Let's talk about it. These are obviously racist claims, but I will respond to them as if Charlie Kirk were a reasonable person.
Black Americans are about 13 to 14% of the population.
Yes,
about half of all prisoners are black.
Wrong. Just 38% of America's prison population is black. That's according to the US government. But it makes you wonder why Charlie feels the need to add an additional 12% to the black prison population. Could it be because his bigoted talking points only work if he exaggerates them? If Charlie were actually looking for the race that makes up half the prison population in the US, he'd look no further than white people at 57%.
Exactly.
So blacks commit more crimes than whites do.
Wrong. The word "so" is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence.
So blacks commit more crimes.
He's saying "so" as in therefore, as in one could conclude, but Charlie knows he's lying. Even if he hadn't just lied about the black prison population, Charlie is smart enough to know that correlation does not equal causation, but he's hoping that you don't know that. So he deploys the word "so" to make you think he's coming to an obvious conclusion.
So blacks
Instead, he's making an illogical racist leap. Charlie knows that we don't have usable data about who commits crimes. It's impossible to have that data since so many crimes go both unreported and or unsolved. Charlie knows that we only have data about arrests and convictions. I'll come back to that data in a moment. What's painfully obvious is that Charlie Kirk isn't interested in understanding the statistics he so carelessly misquotes. He's interested in making bad faith arguments, something that becomes even more obvious in his next point.
Blacks are 13% of the population and they commit 58% of all the murders.
Wrong again, and loud this time. If Charlie were interested in honesty, he would have mentioned the other 1350 statistic. Yes, black people are about 13% of the population, but make up 53% of all criminal exonerations. In fact, black people make up 55% of all murder exonerations. Specifically, black people are more likely than any other group in this country to be convicted of crimes they did not commit. And then people like you have the nerve to parade these stats around as though they prove something. The reality is that you probably know these stats, but you leave them out on purpose because to bring that stat into this conversation would make some people think. And that's the last thing a person like you wants.
Yeah, that's just...
and this is, in my opinion, where doing actual research on what the numbers and the stats say, and not again, even like if you're taking it at face value, and then giving context and not looking at numbers in a vacuum is really, really important. And like he gave an example of that, multiple layers. I'll toss it out to y'all.
No, I think that's like you kind of hit it on the head. They say men lie, women lie, numbers don't, but numbers can lie also. If you leave numbers out, if you only show half the numbers or you show a percentage, you can twist numbers to say
twist. I don't want to say lie,
but they won't lie, but you can use them to support lies if you use them in the right way. If you use them, if you only use half of the number, you don't use all the numbers. There's certain numbers that can support lies,
and this is why you got to also. And I ain't stepping on you. I'm gonna keep going. The devil's typically in
the detail,
the way people set statements up.
No, that's
to me, it's so easy for me to pick out. Oh, you're cherry picking a stat by how they set it up,
and that's why you gotta. That's why you gotta pay attention. That's why there's a lot of stuff they taught us in school about sources and references, and a lot of stuff that didn't necessarily make sense when you was walking through the process of like, how am I going to use this? But if you don't have those skills now, people can lie to you, and you don't even know how the research has been done. You don't know the scientific process. You don't know how they arrive to the conclusions. They can just give you numbers, give you a conclusion, and if you don't know the meat and potatoes in between, you'll just take it for face value every time. But and especially in today's society where critical thinking, you have to have that. Where we got AI, we got Instagram, we got headline based news. Where like if you can't critically think for your own and look at us and look at data and know that I might need more data to come to a conclusion, then you're gonna always be lied to. You're gonna always be fooled, and it's sad that you might not ever really know what's going on because you're not taking it and doing your own research. There's a lot of people that voted one way, was that 4-5 months ago, that are now regretting it because they didn't take the time out to do a lot of the research beforehand about who they was voting for. Or
Jenna, let me stop you. I feel like that could be a topic for later.
Yeah, I ain't gonna go too far, but that's okay. I ain't gonna go too far, but
I feel like we might hit that a little bit later. But yeah, Tone.
I'm always skeptical of some of the stats anyway, because a lot of times you wonder where stats are coming from. But yeah, he definitely was trying to use those numbers to his advantage. I think the dude did a masterful job of showing how he was lying. And I appreciate stuff like that, like where people don't get upset and start yelling and they're lying, so blah 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 blah. Like you just go ahead and break it down. Like show the flaw in the intellect. Like show where this man is lying, because a lot of times it gets lost when you start yelling at people about how they lied and everything. People don't want to keep hearing you yelling; they ain't gonna believe you. But I thought that was a good way of explaining things. I think like how Johnny was saying, this is stuff we grew up to learn, to recognize, and even like critical thinking was a thing that was still going on in our schools at the time. One of the things that I kind of fear in this current time period is like I don't think they enforce critical thinking as much, or that's as much of a thought. I don't know how much that's taught in school or how much that's a thing anymore. So when these children grow up and they're in positions that we in, like say 15, 20 years from now, however, I don't know if they're going to be like falling for some of this rhetoric or some of these tricks that these people pull a lot easier than what we do. And we fall for it already.
I guess that's an interesting question. I don't know. I get that it's almost like a good enough like to like unpack for like a full topic. What I would say is that I do still keep high school and under in a bubble, just because of I think that that still kind of like remains a little like unscathed in the sense of like what it was, what it is, and what it's not. Like so, even for example, like QJ in their English class, they were having like debates on topics and shit like that, to where that elicits critical thinking per se. So it'd be hard for me to like make the statement of how like they're not pushing critical thinking, where like I be seeing him have assignments that deal with specifically that.
But is he in advanced classes, or he's an honors, or what level of classes? I imagine because a lot of the stuff I learned as far as the critical thinking is because I was in advanced placement.
But that also still don't sound like it changed much.
I don't know if
if you're saying if he is in that and you were in that and y'all still doing the same things. It sounds like
I wasn't in regular classes either.
Yeah, I wasn't either.
But so like I don't know if it has changed, but I know that's something that wasn't offered to like college prep, and that'd be my critique on it. Not that it's changed, but that should be taught to everybody, not just the so-called
probably
kids.
and possibly. I don't disagree with that. All I'm saying is that like I know from my small anecdotes that it's not. I don't think that is not specifically, and I think like the kids are also the Google generation in which their first metric of like becoming autonomous is Googling everything that their parents say.
But that's where you gotta have like that.
They just want fact check parents.
But that's why you gotta know how to fact check, because if you can't properly source stuff with references, it's hard to fact check. Because
I agree, but that then that's not critical thinking as much as it's like proper English.
Yeah, it's not critical thinking, no, but you got to know how to do that in order to then go out and call somebody out on their facts. You got to make sure your facts are sound.
Yeah, keep looking forward to the gym. But I agree. But I can't remember what was the other points I had made. But that was the only thing that I feel like at the moment that I had a little. I don't know if it was pushback, but I do think that critical think it's like, to me, it's so hard to say if it's going more or less, or if this generation does less or more critical thinking, only because I think that we came up in a generation, in a previous generation before that had minimal critical thinking that was done, and so much was through programming. And it's so hard because the way the algorithm works. Like I don't know if like I don't know what level of programming they are, as much as like, well, I guess it's programming, but it's like individual echo chambers. So I think you see more extremists and shit like that now.
Let me ask you this: if you say in programming, do you think most, and this gonna take it to someplace else, but I think it's a correlation. Do you think most
causation too?
Do you think most AI systems are based on critical thinking, or do you think it's just something that they are just where they're just regurgitating information?
Most AI systems,
yeah.
I don't
like. There's
I don't think that's like the emphasis of most algorithms, where algorithms are predictive in nature, and then it's like gathering information in nature.
So there's no critical thinking within the algorithm. It's just
like, what are you talking about? Like you talking about like Gronk and what's the Chat GPT and shit like that? Are you talking about like that?
Yeah.
I guess it mimics critical thinking because it's gathering the most information that it can, and like making that concise into an opinion depending on like what's favorable and unfavorable.
But
if you look at that as critical thinking,
it's all based on programming though, because you got a program.
Yeah, but and that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if that's like critical thinking as much as like having a big data pool of information to gather common consensus.
And that's what I was gonna say. Where the kids, I think what they have now is a big data pool. Like they got the Google, and like they can Google, like they can go and get in Google any and everything. Where we like, it was harder for us. We had to go to the library, and all the information wasn't as accessible to us in our high school years.
Mm-hmm.
But with
we
that,
had the internet. We ain't that old.
Well, you maybe okay, okay. Middle school, we ain't that old. But like, just because you have the information doesn't necessarily mean that you're using it to critically think. You may just be like regurgitating it, and not necessarily where like there's a lot of times where like problem solving skills, you got to take the information and do something with it.
Okay.
And I don't, to tell them, I don't know if there's a lot of that going on with kids, where it's just they have just a lot more information than we did. Okay. And that what makes them seem smarter. But I don't know if it's critical thinking.
And then they have the information without like relevance. Like we actually came up in a time where we were still like, we still seen remnants of stuff from the past that was like still around. Like we came up, we was fortunate to come up in a time where like it was before technology, and then we went into it. Yeah. So like them, they just growing up with the technology and stuff like that. I be thinking about a lot of times, like a lot of the stories is only gonna be whatever they see, like the stories that they see from the past when they get older and they looking back at stuff. It's only gonna be what was told like in digital or in they like. It's not necessarily gonna be they critically thinking about what was going on during the time because there wasn't any type of way aware.
Well, like, and there's stuff like this.
What do you mean? You said the stories from the past are only going to be. Explain it.
So pretty much like in the future or whatever, the stories of the past are going to be whatever the propaganda was or whatever was on. Like,
do you think that that's different than today?
The past is always we've always been lied
I
to.
still do. I do think it's a. I don't think it's too different, but the only difference is that I feel like when we was younger, there were certain things we were still aware of because you didn't learn it from technology. You either learned it like
of the past.
Like, yeah, there are different
Like,
times you didn't necessarily learn stuff from technology. Like when you got the news about something that was happening, it was because you got it from like a paper with where you had reputable journalists who was reporting different stuff at the time. You was actually experiencing it, or you had somebody who told you about it that actually experienced it.
Oh my! All right, so you talking about like what present news is?
Yeah, present news in the future. Like in the future, like when you looking at the kids who grow up or whatever, like say they're at our age, like the people who are kids now, when they get our age and they're the ones making the decisions of the world, I don't think they're going to critically think the same way that we are because their basis is different. Does that make sense?
What thing?
Yeah, all right. I understand what you're saying. That those two like a different something that I can engage with as well. I guess I was on this, like when you were saying in the past, like how people used to look at the past and like what they seen, and what I was thinking that you were speaking about was like if in the 90s, what we knew of the 60s, what to me it still was kind of like, you know, a bit of propaganda from who wins.
And I think
Tara hit a key here. She said, pretty soon the Constitution will be what is told to them. They won't be able to read it since it is in cursive. And that's a true thing. Like you don't get that?
I don't like, because the Constitution is also like been translated in print, and you could just look it up on a PDF.
But you'd have to trust technology. You'd have to trust ain't nobody mess with that PDF.
Like, all right, my bad. Who did y'all? Any of y'all read the Constitution through cursive?
We did.
I've seen the actual.
No, you've seen it. So which every law that you've seen, you've read it in cursive.
Not every law, because they stopped.
How many laws did you read in cursive?
I read the Constitution, like the actual Constitution.
You read the entire thing in cursive.
They in school, that was a thing I had. I remember looking at the documents, the actual pictures of the Constitution.
And y'all read all the pages of the. How many pages of the documentary?
I don't know if I read every single page. I read enough of it to say I read
it. And y'all read it in cursive.
The shit was it was in cursive, written in cursive.
Or did you read the print version of the cursive?
No, I read it in cursive. I remember seeing the
I read both, but I do remember seeing the pictures of it in cursive and having to read it. Now they had a printed version too. I ain't gonna lie. They did have a printed version.
Yeah, in the social studies book, it was gonna be the printed version, of course.
Yes. You ain't gotta Google that, bro. I just told you. I just read the
if you look up the scroll, you'll see it. Let me see. Tar said, I know he's gonna say yes, it is online, but they have changed actual printed books.
I'm not saying that they haven't, but all I'm saying is that most people I know today have not read the cursive Constitution. Most people don't only know like two whatchamacallit in the Constitution.
Two bills.
Yeah, like
the first and the second.
Yeah, first, second, and like the slave shit. Like 13th Amendment. Like people aren't like quoting the 5th Amendment.
I know the 5th, ain't the 5th Amendment.
Oh, plead the 5th, yeah.
Unc said he read it in cursive.
Yeah, the 6th.
No, that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
Yeah, Unc said he read it in cursive. Tara G said, why is it hard to believe it was written in cursive and we read the actual one? I have one in cursive from when I went to see the real one. They sold them in the gift shop.
All I'm saying, like, I don't know, like when I was in school in the I wasn't in 1900s. I was in like
that boy say he went to school in the 20th century.
Yeah, I was in the 20th century. High school. It was early 20th century. I graduated 05. But like we were reading the print of the Constitution. I think that most people were reading the print of the Constitution. Was there cursive available? Yes. But generally speaking, like I'm not going to pretend like even during our time, literally 20 years ago, that we were like putting an emphasis on reading 1800 cursive
manuscript.
So what she was saying, she said, but the people you know could read it still because they can read cursive. Once they can no longer read cursive, it would be art.
Okay.
Like, how can you verify the Constitution if you can't read it, though? They can change anything in the print.
Yeah.
And then if you can't go back and read what was in the actual Constitution to verify it said that, then
like, how far in the future do you think that we have to go to where there isn't people that know how to read? There aren't people that can verify, because like right now, when you talk about like the Bible, the scripts, the Dead Sea Scrolls, like whatever you want to go through, there are people who are currently able to decipher and read directly through that. Are we saying like just in the next 20 years, like all these people, like people that know how to read cursive, and then the ability to read cursive is just going to disappear to where you can make up anything and it be unvalid? Like, I don't understand like where we at.
I mean, my whole point was that they're going to view stuff differently than we are in the future, as far as like because of how they're being raised, or because of how they're being taught, or how they choose to learn. I thought that was a good example, but if you disagree that that's a good example, then I mean, I can understand that. But there are other examples there are other things that are going to take effect in the future that's going to be different.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see, we done got on that one for a minute.
Yeah, I just disagree with the Constitution. I think I agree with everything else. Yeah.
All right,
shout out to her. She bite. Ain't nothing like a good little Tar G disagreement.
Steve did say most people couldn't read when the Constitution was wrote. They just had to believe what they were told.
Well, that's also a fact.
Hey, that's the good one. Yeah, that's the good one.
See,
them motherfuckers wasn't illiterate back then. You act like literate.
Here it is, though. That's one of the things. How do y'all know they was illiterate? That's one of the things somebody can tell us, or that
because they was poor.
We don't know what they was. That was not living in.
That was a joke.
Well,
so that's the whole. That's part that plays to the point that I was saying, though.
But
like,
I think that like if system.
Like, they couldn't read. We don't know that.
We know the black people couldn't read back then.
Like it was systematically enforced that they couldn't. Even if you wanted to vote, like they had like literacy, like they had metrics in which black people had to attempt to pass.
He didn't say black people. He said most people couldn't read when the Constitution.
Oh yeah,
was wrote.
but
he didn't say most black people. He said most people couldn't read when the Constitution was wrote, and y'all wholeheartedly agreed. That's part of what I'm saying. We don't know. We don't know nothing. We wasn't allowed.
Well, we know most of them. We know all the black people couldn't read.
But we don't know that either.
You said the word all. I know that most
I changed it to most.
Most. But black people made language, so it's like we couldn't read English, but we could read in our own language, and we was writing our own language.
But the writing the war in English, so we needed to read that.
We're talking about like current English. Like if you're saying that black people were still like writing and reading inside their own native language, maybe.
Of course.
I was taking it as that we were talking about English, and in English, like you could look through like very powerful things, because those are things that were used to subjugate black people, like literacy tests and things like that, to keep them away from like housing and voting and different things like that. Where if they could do it, they would do it because it would be beneficial inside.
Tara said something true. She said, I think more people were literate then. Have you read the letters from the soldiers? I agree. Huckleberry Finn, Mark Twain, all of these books and all of this stuff that was being written, people could read.
When Steve said most people, I took it as black. And if you open it up to most, I have to look it up to be able to give you an answer. Like, and I don't really have that. Usually, like a lot of times we end up being like black focused inside our conversation. If we're speaking black, then I'll go on ahead. If we're saying most people in America, like including primarily white, then I don't know.
So, but the education system in America isn't something that was around even back then. So, like, I don't think reading was something most people.
Read how the education system of America started.
I could look it up real quick.
They got to do with the same stuff that happened in 1913. But we're not going there. We is in memes. We ain't supposed to be on this conversation this long.
But I probably still lean to I think that they wouldn't be. Literacy rates 1800s.
You looking for statistics of the literacy rates from 1800s, and you gonna believe those statistics? Like y'all don't see the like we don't know. We was not there to really be around. Like,
but that's like that's history.
Aunt said y'all look like two kids at the mall in them phones.
Y'all did, bro. That's funny, actually. But to the point that you were saying, Tone,
put my shit there.
I think that like if we're to have a viewpoint on history in general, like you have to have something that verifies it, whether that's like historical documents, statistics, whatever it is, whether we're talking about what happened inside the, you know, the 800s, during the Roman Empire, or the 1800s or the 1500s. Like, you have to lean on certain on verifiable things. If not, then there's a space where you can make up anything and it just has to be believed, or people will believe it.
I don't say this. History is written by whoever is running history. So I mean, like, yeah, it ain't necessarily true. But I want to move to the next thing because we've been on that for a minute.
Not true. I think that's where like verifiable sources and understanding their dating during that time. Like, I don't think that white people in the 1800s had a reason to lie about white literacy.
I could give plenty of reasons they would lie about white literacy.
Why would they make white literacy lower?
Oh, you say why would they make it lower?
Yeah, because we're talking about like them not being able to read. I understand why they would make it higher, but why would they? Because we're talking about them being illiterate. Why would they make it lower?
I mean, I don't know, bro. All I'm saying is like the statistics is just told. It's not so. Most of the time, where did they get these statistics from? Somebody went to 1776 or 1800s.
Well,
was interviewing them. Like,
no, because aristocrats during that time, it was an elitist. It was an elitist space where like the same things that they did for black people, they did for poor white people. So like the literacy tests and different things like that, it was a way to be able to keep classism, so that they had these same barriers of entry for them, to where they couldn't get, whether it was again real estate, power, running for elective office, like in any of these things. It was based off of certain little tests, like deal with like literacy and shit like that.
Okay. Steve said 1776 wasn't a time when the commoner could read. Tar said, what did they consider literacy? What level of being able to read and write? They had much higher standards of elites then. Illiteracy at that time in the world was very prevalent. The average person was uneducated. That's why propaganda could be viewed with love, because they believed instead of knowing, no fact checking.
Okay. I ain't mad at that. Shout out Q and Johnny looking like little kids. Johnny, it's on you, my boy.
Shit, let me hey, go to the second row far right. That's what we're gonna start with. This one hilarious.
Babe, if it's a cover two, why you don't just have Devontae run a post?
I didn't even think they had switched it. What? If it was a what? What's funny? If it was a what?
If it's a cover two, why you just don't have Devontae run a post?
First off, how do you know who? Are you saying his first name, Devontae? Who? How do you? What do you mean by that? How do you know Madden? What's going on? Why do you why do you know cover two and plays and posters and what who told you? Don't pick. Come on, don't irritate me right now. I ain't gonna lie, you finna blow me already.
What?
I just got off work. I'm just trying to chill right now. Who talked to you about that? What you talking about? Did you look that up? Did you trying to be funny right now?
Huh? He's not FBI.
Who don't? It's common sense.
What's common sense? What's common sense? You don't know no man. What you talking about common sense? How you talking about cover two? What you talking about cover two? How you know that?
It's common sense. Who don't know that? Who don't know that?
I never in your life heard you talk about football. All of a sudden you talk about cover two and Devontae though. You talking about Devontae?
Well, I don't know.
Well, what? Don't. You're about to piss me off. How do you know?
Somebody said, she said cover six. How we breaking up?
If it's a cover,
it's a cover two. She just put him in and that would have broke the cover too. She actually knew she was
run a post.
Run a post. But yeah, if your girl started,
it's not guaranteed to break the cover two.
And Tara said, did he wear a dress for this?
That's them non-FBA shit, as my boy Trey would say.
Well, nothing about him said non-FBA. Even when he got angry, he didn't have a like accent.
It looked like one of them Hebrew outfits without the belt.
Yeah, why would you throw that on him?
I was just saying, they look FBA to me.
What about him didn't look FBA?
The dress or the garb?
I was just
joking. I was just joking.
Young Thug FBA.
I don't know what he was wearing. I don't
Is
know
Young
why
Thug FBA.
I don't know. You gotta ask Trey. Ask David Walker.
Oh, you
who
got
passed the
you prefer
lineage
to
test.
trade for all FBA?
Yeah, I ain't the gatekeeper of FBA. I gotta check.
Why you putting it? Why you smutting these niggas' name out?
It was funny. I thought it was gonna be. Let me get the top middle one. Get the top. You gotta read that one for me.
Dave East makes music for niggas who work warehouse overnight shifts and sell bud on the side.
Over 35 too.
Yeah, you gotta.
Nah, he gotta be like between 35 and 37 for sure.
Hey, I fuck with East, but hey, I ain't got the warehouse job. But hey, that's funny.
Oh, but you do sell a bud.
No,
on the
I ain't
side?
say that neither. I ain't say that. Don't put no smut on
Smut?
there. And then scroll down. I want to see.
Would you call it a smidget?
A smidget.
What is that? Is that derogatory or not?
I don't know. And then let me get, because this is gonna be my last one. Although we
cook
want
a little bit.
Hmm?
See, you can throw one more too. We ain't picked up one yet.
Okay. Well then I'll go with let me get the girl in the basketball. Now go down. One more. Right there. It's valid or not, dude.
And what did you at?
I'm saying, are you calling the check or not?
Calling the check?
Yeah.
What?
Because she threw it. Because she don't play that one yet. Because she threw a shoe at an opponent.
No, what shoe did she throw?
It was a shoe. It was
the girl's shoe that lost it.
Yeah, but I don't think you're supposed to throw shoes at opponents. They were saying
they just gave it right. She gave
her shoe back, and she dropped the ball and turned.
They say it was unsportsmanlike, and the ref should have called a tech. I'm asking, would you call a tech on that?
No, if anything, that was sportsmanlike.
That was and one. As far as I'm concerned, she just said
off the easy. That'd be better.
They said that they was in the comments crying about a tech. I ain't know if you thought that was tech worthy or not.
Nah,
I thought it was a smart play personally.
Smart.
I thought that was a smart play, but you the basketball head, so I didn't know you would have called it.
Yeah, no, I like that. She gave her a thing. Yanking go.
Give me that. And you can go up. You can go up to the top. I want to shout out my boy. This is a serious post. But yeah, get the top left. This H Wood, he been here before. But hey, read that, Tone. And then y'all go to H Wood's page if y'all want to donate. But hey, shout out him, peace to the family, all of that. But this is fucked up.
This her name Jalea. This is my little cousin Jalea Thompson. Her life was cut short a couple days ago. She took her own life because of bullying in school. Man, she was only 11 years old. Bullying is not okay, and people need to understand that some people aren't as strong-minded as others. Schools need to be more proactive in these situations, and parents need to stop their children from bullying other kids because this could be the result.
Yeah, no, I think because I've seen this happen with other people, like without like necessarily being as close to home as this. But this one kind of hit close to home. H Wood, he one of the boys, and yeah, but bullying is something, man, it's just sad to see. And so I just wanted to, platform that. Y'all go to H Wood official on Instagram. He got the link. What's it called? The GoFundMe and the page. Y'all go donate. But much love to you and your family, big dog. I just wanted to, show a little bit of love on that one. That's fucked up. And then the last one I'm gonna do, I'll wait till Q get back, but I'm gonna do the Hispanic lady. And then we'll go into my topic from there.
No, I'm next. I didn't put
y'all. Oh, that's true. Oh, shit. My bad, bro. Hey, shit. My bad. You
going last next time.
My bad. I forgot. Tone up next. Then we'll come back to the trunk lady. Then I got some good ones in there too, but I got one for
let me see.
Real next week.
Oh yeah, I did hear about Hooters filing for bankruptcy.
Hey, read that though. You see what
Hooters is reportedly filing for bankruptcy due to a decline in customers and financial struggles. After the pandemic, they were sued for discrimination. They allegedly called back white women and light-skinned women to return to work, but never called back dark-skinned women. I know this girl who worked at Hooters too, and she was dark-skinned, and I don't recollect seeing her go back to Hooters.
She ain't never go back. I don't know if they won the lawsuit or not, but That shit, that's fucked up. If that,
they was tripping. The dark skinned Hooter girls were some of my favorite ones.
I mean, they act like motherfuckers don't like dark skinned women,
like,
bro.
tripping.
They tripping.
We like we're
Doshi going crazy right now. She dark skinned. Like, how they ain't going what? You're like, that's crazy, and that's why y'all out of business right now. And they wings always suck. Just putting that out there. The wings always been trash.
But what y'all talking about?
Hooters.
What happened with Hooters?
Oh, they filed for bankruptcy
because they ain't called dark skinned women back.
Yeah, they got sued.
Or maybe they just been hiring more flat-chested women.
Nah, they got sued after the pandemic for not calling. They called back white women and light-skinned women, but they didn't call back the dark-skinned women. So they got sued for discrimination.
Now they going out of business.
Why didn't they just why they didn't call just like all the big bitty women?
All the Hooters.
Yeah, the shit is called Hooters.
Yeah, like
I think
Hooters. That like BMI and breast ratio is the only thing that matters there.
But you know what happened?
Like you ain't got to be like you don't have to have like there's a version of good BBW that could work over at Hooters, but the majority of BBWs you probably want to stay away from. But petite biddies with biddies, that's all you need.
But you know what happened though? You know what happened?
What?
All the motherfuckers went to Twin Peaks.
What is Twin Peaks?
That's the new joint in town. They got what off Carowinds and they got what up by Concord Mills.
Explain what Twin Peaks is.
It's it's another version of Hooters. It's the food better, the outfits
and they
look
just
better.
Got mountains.
Is that what it plays off of?
Yeah, they got mountains, Twin Peaks, Twin Mountains.
Yeah, you get your snowboards out. You going down the slopes.
It's pretty much about the same.
Johnny, you be in there looking like a little kid, don't you?
I only know about this.
That shit like when I walked in there and Tone and Johnny was at what's that Curtin restaurant? And y'all was having a fucking ball in the mountain.
Oh, at Dick's.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was like, hey, what was it? The hey waiter. Y'all was going crazy.
Hey, I asked my girl. My girl liked the place. She was like,
I was telling somebody about that. Tony, you remember the bro threw the menus at me and Tony.
Bro, they threw the straws. We looked like
me and Tony looked at each other. We was about to go off.
Bro, slam off. And then it was like, they hurried up. This is how we do it. The rest of like, oh, y'all better hurry up.
We about had a nigga moment in there, bro. Me and Tony looked at each other like, I know good and goddamn well.
Then we got into it after we realized, oh, we could talk shit to them too. Yeah. It will come up. Well, hurry up and get my food on.
Oh, next time I go back, I'm quaking off immediately. As soon as I walk in, I'm quaking off. Y'all bitches, hurry up! I'm talking shit.
So they let you talk shit.
Oh yeah, you can talk shit to them, all that shit. I love that restaurant.
Like, bro, I was sitting there. It was like, yeah, we about to go get the food. Well, hurry the fuck up then. Like,
hey, wait, hey, Unc know about it.
He said Twin Peaks is that spot. Tell him, Johnny.
Hey, yeah, you gotta check it out. Twin Peaks. Hey, it's the new Hooters.
Hey, they wings was good. That's all.
They wings is way better than way better than Hooters.
That,
That's the reason they doing good. It ain't even about the chicks or the outfits. The food is just better.
That's not true.
It is partly about the chicks and the outfits. It helps to be like eating. They make you feel real friendly. they be real friendly while you eating your food. Just make you feel.
They were friendly at Hooters too, though.
What does this mean? David did not pray for Goliath. He killed his ass.
Oh, he did.
What the fuck is that?
He didn't pray for him.
He didn't pray for him.
He didn't pray for him. He killed his ass. This is facts.
That was a different time in the Bible.
What made you say that? Why you love that?
That's not for this week, bro. That's for another week. That's for another week.
that clip just loaded. Okay, my bad.
That's a different time period in the Bible.
Yeah, he ain't praying. We ain't out here kumbaya with motherfuckers with my son.
Kumbaya does not mean peace. Kumbaya means come by here, Lord, and F shit up. Like that's pretty much what that means.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. They be thinking it's some sweet song. It's not a sweet song. It mean come by here and you hear my pain, you see my pain, come by here and tear it up.
Tear these motherfuckers down.
Okay, what's next?
I'm done.
I think it's on you, my boy.
Oh, okay.
I'm tapped out. Y'all was digging in my meme. Y'all trying to get next week's memes and shit.
Let me see. Okay, I start this. This was actually from I had this like last week or 2 weeks ago, but I still want to share. I thought this was kind of interesting.
Let's do it real life, real. in real time. Yeah, you see how I be on here talking and Kanye West go to the Grammys and say, drop the coat, get butt naked. You know how many white people hate him for making that girl get butt naked in front of everybody? Man, that was so much black power. Shout out Kanye West, man. He throwing his weight around now. He ain't bullshit. Shout out Kanye West, man. That boy throwing his weight around. That say, like Ice-T back in the day. He hit her with the Ice-T. She turned around, dropped the fur, and was butt naked on that. I say, man, that is a real shit there, boy. After they try to block him for getting out of Adidas and boycott him, my boy showed up with a white chick to the Grammys. It didn't even go in. Made her show butt naked, then left. Hey, man, I gotta salute that type of player.
Okay. Hey, but hold on, time out. Didn't they just get divorced after that?
I don't think. I don't know. I don't think they are.
I thought they split.
Her and Brianna since
he done had her somewhere else since then.
I thought they split up.
I know he had to do something else since then, but I was looking at it and I started thinking about it. I was like, you know, was this a form of black power or something? Or is he getting it? I don't think it's a form of black power, but is he getting somewhere with the message?
Oh, damn. It is saying something about that.
They split up after that. Like, you can't call black power if you break up after that shit.
Well, he also was on the internet saying he beat her. He was on the internet saying that he beat her. That probably is the
thing. Well, that probably did. Okay,
so the thing that I noticed that he was
doing I ain't see that.
Was showing like the
I ain't see that.
Now, what I thought was actually kind of like, I don't know if this was genius or not, but I kind of did look at the whole thing of the effect that he was showing. Like what people got to say about him compared to what people got to say about the people who do this to our women all the time. Like right in public. It kind of seemed like it was one of them type plays. I don't know if it was
I ain't never seen a white boy make a black chick get butt naked though.
Black women is butt naked on the screens all the time. Like as far as like showing
I ain't never seen a white dude make them get butt naked like the way Kanye did that woman. I ain't never seen a snap from a white guy and then a black woman just derobe. I ain't never seen that.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was how y'all would see that as far as what if you agree with Slim Thug's thought on things or
that was like black empowerment.
I don't think it was black empowerment at all. Like
that's Yeezy empowerment, but not black empowerment.
Yeah, no, he just went on that crazy.
I do see the issue where there's outrage on one side, like as he does certain stuff like this, he exploits white women. There's outrage. Black women get exploited every day, and there is no outrage.
Well, but he does like. I will ask the comparable. Where is like a comparable of a white man bringing a black woman on a carpet or on stage?
Well,
and then like
parading her, depending on which people he's talking, because he's been aimed at a specific group of people.
Okay,
so I don't know if she's part of that community or not.
But she seems like Italian.
She don't seem
I don't think
she's beyond.
But
she don't seem like a hurricane.
I don't see the contradict. Like if you look at who's in charge of a lot of these artists or who's in charge of a lot of these movements that's been pushed in order to get our women like taking off their clothes and everything and showing off themselves and exploiting themselves, and even like the people who are incentivizing this exploitation, it is these people. It's not our own people necessarily incentivizing these things.
Yeah, I guess I understand what you're saying. I still don't know of like any of them having a black woman paraded in that specific manner
like that.
And I think that's where the outrage is. Like I can't think of like a white man having what's Jimmy Iovine going to an award show or at the Grammys or at the BET Hip Hop Awards, him walking with like 3 black women like this around his arm and having them butt naked, or just walking with one black woman and having her actually black dating.
He didn't make her get butt naked.
Tom Mariah Carey.
Yeah, he didn't make her get butt naked. He just took her out. That's totally different.
Yeah, I meant like
because like if we're talking about like outrage, I think the outrage is that she was fully clothed and then she stripped to nothing.
Yeah, I think if a white dude did it, he'd have as much outrage, if not more. To a black woman,
maybe it would be way
like it'd be worse.
Probably
like in today's time.
If it looked like what Kanye did, that would definitely be worse.
It'd be worse.
I don't think it looks like
it'd be like slave auction talk.
They work in the background. We don't know who's directing these things in the background when they saying like And apparently it's a lot of dark stuff that goes on in the background with these. So like, just because we see like some of our women who out there and they showing stuff, you don't know who's directing and who's incentivizing that, and some of them might be being forced. You never know. What do you see, Q?
Oh no, this is something different dealing with basketball. My bad. Yeah, that was crazy. But let me put this right here. But my bad. You're speaking about the industry and people in the background and their influence.
Like who's calling the shots?
Yeah, and who's calling the shot? I don't know.
Do you think our black come to say basically, do you think our black women are choosing to show off their bodies as much as they do, or is this something that's being incentivized?
I don't know.
I think black women are just like
are we talking about like today or like in historical context? Because most black women that showing their body off aren't.
Definitely today, I would say it's gotten to a point, but I would look at recent history, say like the past 20 years, and was there not a movement to incentivize women exploiting themselves?
Are you saying women or black women?
Black women.
But
it will be like examples of this so that I can understand.
I mean, gradually, if you go back and you look at look at the 90s compared to now, like you can definitely see there's a change in what's acceptable and what's not.
But one can make the argument.
Hey, hold on. I got a point though. I don't think it's about like they're being incentivized, but I think the incentive is coming like to themselves. They're incentivizing themselves. Like a woman like Doshi, I don't think nobody make Doshi get up there and wear what
I definitely think Doshi chooses
but she's doing that for her own benefit. She know that sex sells. She know a motherfucker like me probably gonna listen to her a little more wearing something crazy versus like being fully clothed. That's just the name of the game. I think women are just taking advantage of that. I don't think it's necessarily like some white dudes be like, hey, if you get butt naked, I'll make you $1 million more. No, I think it's just.
No, I definitely do think that happens. Like in a lot of different industries.
But I think for the most part, like if you're looking at like most of these women that are getting, but they're doing it on their own validity, their own fruition. They're not doing that to make somebody else. They're doing that because they know I'm free. I ain't got to answer to nobody, and if I can do this. And it's gonna get me to a bag. I'm not saying they all get to the bag, but I don't think it's a control thing. I think that's something they're choosing to do because they see the
control thing. Even though she chose to be with Kanye and she chose to follow these things.
You talking about Doshi? You talking about Doshi or the white woman?
With the white woman that was just in there.
Okay. Video. Well, she's choosing to be controlled. That's a white woman. They're more submissive naturally. Like that's like, of course, like
that's not true.
Well, more submissive than let me not say
like
that.
History doesn't even point to that.
Let me not say that, but like. I think a lot
of want to see some white women that done fuck. Like you want to see history. Look at white women fucking shit up.
That's true, but there's a segment of women of white women that are raised traditionally and that are a little more submissive. Now, not all white women. I don't think that's the thing, but there is a segment of white women that were raised traditional that put more emphasis on being submissive. Not saying that's all white women or all women in general, but I think that's just.
Say this one more time.
It's not exploitation.
Say this one more time.
I think there's a segment of white women that were raised more traditionally that value being submissive more so than others. I think that's what
you're like a segment of white women that feel that way for sure.
Okay. Ron DeWan said black women used to get exploited. At this point, black women are generally exploiting themselves.
That's what
let's see, because he told her to, she's not supposed to speak unless he gives her permission.
Yeah, he said that he beat his wife. He used the word wife.
Now he said he beat. Now, do you think he was trolling or he really beating her?
I have no idea.
Because I'm like, who would
the thing is like with Kanye? I like he went on a crazy rant.
Yeah, you don't know what's true with Kanye.
Like he was like
off the walls. He was trying to make some type of point though.
I don't know if he made
about beating his woman.
About being able to get away with exploitation depending on who you are. Like the same stuff that he's doing.
Are you talking about that thing, or are you talking about his Twitter rant?
I mean, like a lot of the stuff. I don't even know everything that he's been doing, but I've caught on to some of the stuff or whatever. Where I'm starting to see there's this thing of he's doing the thing that we don't say anything about when people are doing it to our women.
But this is where I'm like, I don't know. Give me a direct like comparable to where people. Like something Kanye's doing that people are doing to like our women.
I mean, this was the reason I shared this example was because I was sitting there looking at it. I'm like, okay, so
But to me, like you would have to be taking what he's doing in a metaphorical sense for what they're doing to our women, literally, because like his is such more of an exaggerated thing.
I do think he was exaggerating to make a
And-
point.
and it's not-
it becomes a public spectacle. Like it's like the same thing
but
as the
then
White
it's hard
Lives
to
Matter
make-
shirt.
But then if it's exaggerated, you don't know where the true point is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, well, that and then it's hard to say that like this is what they're doing per se, and saying like there's not like this, like it's too much outrage for this, but then you see this over there, where it's an exaggerated thing. So exaggerated things get exaggerated responses, in my opinion.
All right, so what do y'all think his purpose for doing these things that he has been?
I think that he was selling a Nazi shirt, and then he was selling a Sean John shirt.
You think it was?
And
all
I
just
think
about
that he
selling
probably
something?
has. I think every time he comes out, I don't know a time that he comes out that he doesn't use outrage marketing. Like typically every album that he has over the past 5 years, and especially within the last 3, has been primarily based off of outrage marketing, which smart. He gets everybody talking about him for free, but he also uses that. Well, he also pushes the line every single time on like what he can say and pushes the limit to get people talking. Then he drops something. Like he didn't not do it this time. He did the Sean John shit in the midst of it. Then he did the Yahtzee thing. And to me, every time I see him do it, it's always paired with either music or a product. So it's hard for me not to like put those two together.
Yeah, I can feel that. I was just wondering if he might have had a message to this, or if this was just. I looked at.
I used to want to think that. I think Ye. I think sometimes we be trying to make Ye.
I definitely think he
smarter
has
than
mental
he is.
issues. I just don't think he typically does stuff without it being. It'd be like it's some type of reason, whether his reasoning
I
is
ain't
right or not.
I think niggas do that with Cole, not Cole, with Kendrick and Kanye. Like sometimes they'll overreach to make in Trump. They do it with Trump too. Like they'll overreach. Like they'll be like Trump using the art of the deal. That nigga was just talking about just trying to get what was he trying to turn into the new Caymans?
Into what?
To the new Caymans Island.
He didn't talk about Panama, Greenland.
No, the big one. Over there with Israel.
Gaza?
Yeah, Palestine. He was trying to turn that into a vacation resort.
Yeah, Gaza. And yeah,
boy, and it was like, he's just using the art of the deal. He's making something so outrageous to then when he bargains back, it's like, bro,
but like, hey, Trump got
to do that with every single thing to my nigga.
Is Trump make it bad to be American, bro? Because he'll go back and like internationally, like even what he's doing with like Ukraine and Russia, where like bro basically telling Ukraine, get your shit together because we finna stop this. And like they siding a lot more with Russia.
Okay.
Even with the Gaza and Israel stuff, where the previous administration was a lot harder, a lot tougher on Israel. The Trump administration,
they're not siding with Gaza at all.
No, I'm saying they were a lot tougher on Israel. The previous, and where this one they're going laxed on Israel, and they're just basically letting them do whatever they want to. There's no they're taking like the restrictions off, and I don't know,
I just hate the fact that like I'm sure Tone he got a couple more of them where he said he's gonna get political, so we might end up inside this space. I think that like I enjoy accountability across the board. Or like just keeping everybody to the same metric. My thing is that with like Trump, a lot of times right now, what I see happening is that there's literally no metric to hold him accountable. Like he said that he was going to end which war on day one.
He didn't.
And then they said, oh, well, he didn't do it because it was a negotiating tactic. All right. He told Gaza they had less than 24 hours. Not Gaza, my bad. Hamas. Less than 24 hours to give these hostages back, or it was about to turn into hell over there. This was like last week. 24 hours happened. What was the negotiating tactic?
They did.
Like, at what
they
point,
did give the hostages back.
No, they gave 4 fucking dead people back.
But that was the agreement though, was to give 4 people.
But they gave 4 dead people back. I don't think it was like 2 newborns, a woman, and an old man that died, and they blamed it on the airstrike.
And you know what happened? They didn't even give the right person. They gave 3 Like one of the ones
you ain't saying that. I still agree with what I'm saying. Like, and he said no, all of them, and then it didn't happen, and they just said, "Oh, that's a negotiating tactic."
But yeah, Trump
where do I'm not a witch hunt nigga, so I'm not trying to witch hunt Trump, but we gotta have some level of like where we can hold something to something.
But I mean, but how do you hold a motherfucker that will say anything accountable for what he says? Like we know he'll go out and say anything, so that's why we let it slide. The same thing with Kanye. It's like once you have a track record for saying the craziest shit,
is that healthy?
It's not healthy. It's bad leadership.
Oh, I see what you did there, Tone.
It's bad leadership. I'm just saying it.
What we on to the next one?
Yeah, you still up?
All right. This was Jasmine Crockett earlier. I don't know if I'm gonna play this whole video because it's a guy yelling after her talking.
We are not in the business of giving out money, and honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
Bitch, what? You mean to tell me you ain't in the business of giving away money? What the fuck is the immigrants then? Bitch, what the fuck is the immigrants? Huh? You don't give away fucking money. What is USAID? Bitch, what is that? Bitch, what is that?
Yeah, so I'm not gonna play that whole video, but what do y'all think about this plan of $5,000 and everything that they've been talking about?
I don't trust them because like I like
and again, like to make sure that I understand it properly. This is supposed to be if Doge does eliminate a proper amount of waste that they're looking to give, and this is one time $5,000.
It really is 20% to taxpayers.
Of the money
which
money that they
20%
which right
of the money
now,
that they recover
according
goes to
to
taxpayers.
Elon, it would be like 5,000 per like American.
They said between
whatchamacallit?
5,000 to 8,000.
Okay, I hadn't heard the 8,000.
I didn't hear the 8.
It was between 5,000 to 8,000, but the main thing is that it's 20%. So whatever they recover is supposed to be 20% going back to the taxpayers.
But there's a couple parts to this. One, I guess let me try and answer to what he said. Like whether it's through Trump or the Democrats, why the immigrants are getting money is a different scenario that deals with like reforming legislation that previously existed since the 80s. So like that's one of those hands tied things.
Well, he was saying, she said we're not in the business of giving money. Like she was.
I get it. Like she, Jasmine Crockett, she's a Democrat, Congresswoman, I want to say, and to me, I took it that he was responding directly to her in the fact that like, because what was the other thing? He said immigrants, and he gave what was the other thing?
I don't even remember what
I just heard him screaming immigrants so loud. I ain't hear.
Yeah, he was talking about the immigrants they got that they had gave the money immigrants from USA and everything.
Oh, my bad. He said USAID.
Yeah.
That's
and in which like US aid in general, I don't know. Like I think that right now, like we're saying, like the conversation around that is so interesting only because of like when you look at what it accounts for inside the actual budget, it's less than 1%. But also, do we think that, and this is a different conversation, but do we think that U.S. foreign policy and aid is important? And maybe we don't, and if not, then hey,
I think it's important in what context.
But
in what context? Like
there's multiple a context would be in favor with foreign governments to be able to levy whether it's resources, military base. Like you can go down the line of why you give aid to foreign countries. I don't think
it matters to the average American. They give aid.
No, I'm talking about like on like a actual
geopolitical level.
lens.
No, it don't matter because a lot of that aid.
Okay.
No, because I mean, no, because we give it out.
So what
much.
China is doing in Africa doesn't matter. Like the aid that they give that then comes in place of them allowing the Asians to come and take over their resources.
Why does that matter to us?
No. It matters in the geopolitical game of controlling resources. And then that matters to us because of how much are we paying for resources? Like, what are we talking about?
Like, as far as the resources, us average Americans don't control resources. They going over there giving that aid so they can go take the resource, and the rich people can get rich. That money shit ain't trickling down to us.
So
that's some rich people.
American exploitation has no bearing on the price of goods.
No, not really. No,
What are we talking about?
No.
So like our oil price doesn't matter with like what country we're exploiting.
No, because we get
the price of whether it's tech and the actual manufacturing cost.
We've been creating our own oil. Like oil might be not like there are certain things that matter, but they give out aid not to control the prices to make it easier for the American consumer. They don't give a fuck. They don't give that aid out for our benefit. They get that aid out so they can go get a bag and they can control that. That has nothing to do with us average Americans at all.
It's not about
they can keep that money here and spend it on us Americans versus.
No, I don't think that it deals with like a need for humanitarian efforts as much as it's favor for that government for us as a country to control specific resources that will be beneficial for us. But over a long-term thing, especially inside the new colonial race that is Africa, that we're competing with China for right now, in which if we don't have and garner specific amount of these resources, they're going to take it over, and then they're going to win the arms race faster. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
I mean, actually, if you're looking at it strictly geopolitical sense of like just Americans versus Chinese, but we talked about how fucked up the American system is here anyway. They're taking even if they get all those resources, the middle class in America is shrinking. Like, it's been shrinking.
Sure.
So it's those rich people that are taking that money.
Inflation goes up higher when you have to only outsource shit.
But we don't only outsource shit.
Now, if again you lose all of the places in which you are able to exploit, it only becomes, whether you want to talk about Trump's tariffs or like the fact that you're only outsourcing to foreign soil to get, again, if we're talking American companies with the cobalt or the different resources that it takes to build these chips, these different things, XYZ, so that MacBook is going to double in price. So that like you can go down the line of everything that you use, your phone is going to double or like, you know what I mean, go up exponentially when it comes down to it.
Because we like one thing about America, we're an energy independent country. We don't have to rely on these other countries for our energy. Now, there's certain resources in other countries that, like, if we get it, it's going to be cheaper for us. But the iPhone going to go up in price no matter whether they have those minerals.
It's going to go up, but
like, because like the iPhone ain't got no cheaper.
What metric?
Like, they've been over there taking the cobalt for years. The iPhone ain't never got cheaper.
Right.
No matter how much resources they take away
would you
from
think
there,
that the iPhone will be getting
trickle down to us? But I'm saying whether they do it or not, the iPhone is going to go up.
That's called inflation. But when you no longer control the market, now you're at the will of somebody else. And especially don't let that be your enemy. Like, all right, my bad. So you're making the statement that foreign policy doesn't matter, especially when it comes down to resource-rich places.
I'm saying it doesn't matter to the
as Americans.
You're framing the question in a different. I'm saying, like, as far as like you said why giving aid. You said they give the
giving aid. Why do they give aid to give favor to be able to?
But like, it ain't about money. We got soldiers over there. We ain't got to give money. What if we got American soldiers over there? They ain't got.
So you saying like let's just rape, kill,
we put our soldiers over there. So like that matters. Like, we talking about controlling stuff.
What is our soldiers?
Our soldiers matter more than the money. As far as the everyday people,
what is our soldiers going to do
over there
if the people don't like them? What is our soldiers going to do if the people don't like them?
They're going to fight them.
Yeah, and so are you saying that we should just like strong arm all countries?
I'll say that's what we have been doing, and it hasn't helped us as
Well,
Americans.
no, U.S. aid also goes into the idea of building relationships in which now we have.
But how has that helped the average American? Like, it's helped.
It's
helped Exxon. It's helped Amoco, BP. So how does that help the average American?
All right, you're using the word average American, and then once we get down, that's where we're talking about like the idea of how does it trickle down to the average American. It helps the average American a lot, though. Like, America being the #1 country in the world helps the average American a lot. Are we making the pretend that it doesn't? American being like a strong arm inside resource-rich places helps the average American a lot. Do we disagree with that?
I don't think it helps as much as you trying to.
No. All right. So
like,
it has no impact.
It helps.
So if China rules fucking China, no, if China rules Africa, what does that do to the bottom line of everything that we consume in America?
I think
answer
I
that
think it's
question.
gonna hurt the rich people more than it's gonna hurt us.
Answer the.
It means the capitalist people are gonna have to pay more for their resources.
All right. So
if we don't,
just answer this. If China controls Africa, what does that do for the average American?
If niggas can't afford iPads no more, Apple gonna drop the price, and then who gonna take the loss? Apple.
All right. So you're saying that China controlling Africa would help the average American?
I don't know if it's gonna help, but I think.
So if China controls Africa, what does that do for the average consumer, the middle class person?
I think it's gonna be the same. I don't see it's gonna be any different.
So just making sure I understand what you're saying. You're saying
the elites are gonna take the hit. They're gonna have to take the hit.
When have the elites ever taken a hit and it not trickled down to the worst, the poorest, and the middle class?
And okay, here's my thing: if we cannot no longer afford the products, like it'd be the whole country. But I think it would be a more right, because if the economy crashes, if we're already poor, the rich people are going to lose all their resources. We're not going to lose as much. We don't have as much to lose in this game.
When has the rich not found a way to exploit the poor and the middle class? All it means is that the middle class will shrink faster. Like I don't understand what you're saying. Like you're saying that if they have to pay like this is like that dumb tariff shit that you're saying. Like if they have to pay higher taxes, it just means the goods are higher.
And it means we're not going to buy the goods. And so
when has that ever happened?
It's happened in a lot of stuff. Like even like
explain.
Well, I don't know specifically. I'd have to
because it don't happen. They just raised it. Like that's inflation doesn't mean that niggas stop buying shit.
Eventually, inflation hits a point to where everything resets, and we keep on.
Where going. In Western world has inflation hit to where it does like people just stop buying shit.
But you've had plenty in Germany. In what's the Dutch? What would that be? Belgium.
Okay.
England.
And people just stop buying.
You've had where the whole economy crashes. And the whole economy crashes.
Yeah,
the rich are losing.
Here. Let's see what
the rich are going to lose the most.
Oh, you didn't do that. You didn't do the call in chat.
Oh yeah. What you got to say on the topic,
Yo, on the thing what they talking about inflation. Inflation, it don't stop people from buying, but it also causes a lot more people stealing, which hurts companies. Because when you can't afford it, if you need it, one thing we know about Americans, no matter what nation you come from or whatever color or creed you do, people gonna steal.
They're gonna put the whole Walmart behind case.
They're gonna find it. They're gonna find it. They're gonna find it and they're gonna put it down their pants, up their shirt, in their ass, wherever they gotta get it, they're gonna get it out the building to what they need it.
They putting them paper. They putting them paper towels behind the glass case now. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna put paper towels behind the glass case.
Hey, let me tell you something. This is a true story. And make it real quick. We stay right. Let's talk about right.
Hey, we can't hear.
We can't hear anything you're saying.
Hey, repeat it. Repeat it.
It sounds like you like
hear me now.
You became a robot or you were inside an elevator.
Can you hear me now?
You got took over by AI.
Yeah, got took over by AI. We can hear you now. A little bit. Keep talking. No, we can't. You're trying to go.
What I'm saying is that they put it behind, put the whole corner store behind bulletproof. Everything will be bulletproof.
Oh, we done lost them.
I caught on what party.
You know,
the whole corner store behind
bulletproof. You're gonna do.
Okay.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy because that's what's gonna happen. It's like everything is gonna walk up to and you can't touch anything, you know, because that's just what it is. If you can't touch it and what it is, and this is something else, maybe 25, 30 years ago, everybody was talking about credit cards. It's gonna be a no cash system.
Well, yeah, we've definitely moved to no cash.
And with a no cash system,
but I guess this has been my thing. Just going to what Johnny was saying, and I was trying to keep it to like the inflation a little bit. But so if you look at minimum wage from the 1980s to now, it's pretty much been like a line that's almost like this. It's barely went up at all. If you look at the average pay of the average American, the line has went somewhere like this, right? Like it's kind of going up, but it's not crazy. If you look at the average pay of CEOs and like the people that run companies, the motherfucker like this.
That's based off
Right?
exploitation.
But no. The thing is that like if you look at inflation, though, inflation's still going up. Guess what's not changing? Company profits for the CEO. They like wages just go like they just.
That's what I'm saying. The profits are going to change if we can no longer exploit these things.
No,
they can no
the
longer.
CEO profit won't change.
It will change. It will have to change.
No, it don't have to change. It just means less niggas to work.
It will have to change.
No, how less niggas to work
because
and
then they
make
be able
more
to
money.
buy their products. And then if you have to sell shit, like as a person in sales, if I can't sell a $5,000 gross deal, guess what's better? A $2,000 gross deal. So I'll take less profit to get a deal.
Nigga, that shit sounds good.
That sounds good. Like,
no,
niggas will take less profit.
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Like AI comes, automation comes,
profit is only gonna
and then you have
make a
the idea that like people will get a UBI of some sort, and that's where the money comes to these corporations. And like the poor underclass are going to be the people that are only living on UBI, and you're gonna get the minimal, and that shit's like they'll fuck around and give you a $5,000 a month UBI, but that shit only gonna pay for your mortgage and like a little bit of groceries because eggs is gonna be $10 a carton. That's the reality of it. But guess who's not gonna hurt inside that scenario? The motherfuckers with a bunch of money. When have the rich people ever been like out and distraught in America?
The start of America,
bro.
The start
since the Industrial Revolution, since America has been modernized.
They took it
like you gotta take shit back to 200 years ago, 400 years ago.
That's what they have.
Like I'm saying, but we ain't talking about nothing inside modern
times. I mean, you say
shoot. Even if we look at the last thing that they used to get, they ain't come off on during coronavirus poor either. They definitely
came up.
They came up.
And all right, and this is how I can circle back. We still with you though, but this is how I can circle back to what your question was. Why I don't know if like would I personally love a $5,000 to $8,000 check?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Would I take it? Sure. And then am I going to do something productive with it? Probably sure. Right. My issue is that same as the checks that came during COVID, those checks come with like with issues inside the back end where those are going to lead to it's going to be a 1-to-1 to inflation if he gives those checks. Partially because of like there's going to be an influx of money inside the environment, but COVID also showed that a lot of people didn't spend their whatchamacallit checks, stimulus checks. Mm-hmm. They actually saved them, and so like it kind of like had like a reverse effect to an extent, where like you're giving people money but they're not spending it, so it's actually not stimulating the economy.
What you say, Aunt?
What is the percentage of the people that didn't spend them? Because I know everybody that got, most people I know that got them, spent them like crazy. And that's why I was saying about this whole thing about people getting, us supposed to get money from slavery and all this stuff. If you give the money to poor people who's uneducated with anything to do with money, they're just going to put it back into the system. And the system is going to make more money off of it. And if you give this money to the average person out here, it's just going to be a person putting it back into, it's just going to boost the economy. That's all it's going to do.
But the thing is that's what that was the idea of the stimulus checks during COVID. But then people saved it and they put it in like savings based things. This is more like that whole little like
what I'm asking you is this right here. You're saying this, but what is the percentage of those people?
All right, I'm gonna look it up for you.
Please do.
Even if we look at COVID, the one thing about COVID was during
you asked
COVID,
me a question. I can only look it up if you ask me. Like listen, I can agree.
Go ahead.
Whatever the stats say, I can agree with you or disagree. I don't know. So if you ask a question, I'm gonna just look it up, and then I can be like, "Yeah, Unc, you're right," or "Yeah, Unc, you're wrong." But I don't know the answer, so I'm gonna just look it up.
I was about to say too, though, the other thing about
Oh, I got you. All right.
I know the thing with COVID that was different though was like people didn't know what was about to happen in the world. So a lot of people was saving money because there was a chance you didn't know what was about to happen. We out here in effect right now, and the way I'm looking at it is like it's been so much negative talk about it, but it's like we've never been offered any money like that by anybody. And then what is the implications if this plan is true and they do follow through with what they're saying? Like,
what you mean by that?
Like if they actually follow through with what they're saying, even though we like most people,
which party talking about? Like giving
if they actually
5,
do give this $5,000 out and follow through, and it's coming from the
I'm
place
scared
that
of
they're saying it's
inflation.
coming from. It's coming from the
Damn,
place
that's
that they're saying
elitist.
it's
But
coming from.
I don't know how much
there.
I want like free money in the month. Like since COVID.
But I think this is different than a stimmy because it's coming. Like this isn't just they're not just printing money. Supposedly, this is money that's been misallocated. That's already been spent, and so there's a difference between the COVID
like you let
money
my brain do the math
versus this, where they're saying this is money that like we're recovering and it's already being spent.
Exactly.
That show it shouldn't affect inflation because it's not new money introduced in the system. It's just money that was misused.
Yeah,
that was already in the system.
Even though you're saying that it's money that they're finding, right?
Mm-hmm.
The way that things go with them finding the money and they give it to the economy will get a boost, and I'm sure it will be. I'm sorry that I interrupted Quintel when he was saying that about him looking up whether what amount spent it and what amount saved it. But the whole thing is that this right here, from my belief and from people I know and people around me, they're just going to spend it. Because if you give somebody something that they didn't work hard for, most of the time they're going to blow it. And that's just what happens all the time. Look at lottery winners and things like that, fars and whatever. You give them the money just goes right back to the world. They never stay, they don't stay wealthy or rich for as long as they should have, because they don't know anything about saving. They don't know anything about what the right way to do as far as anything, taxes and all that. The government is going to get it, or either the common man is going to get it, or you know what I'm saying, the just enterprise itself is going to get it from them because they're going to spend themselves out.
Ma Sharon had a question here. She said, so you believe in everything that Elon Musk say? How do you know it was I don't know, so you trust in Elon Musk now? Ma, it's not about so much about Elon Musk, then I believe
My answer is no. I don't trust.
I was about to say it's not about what Elon Musk saying. I do believe though that the government has been misallocating funds. I do believe that portion.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Like all right, and I guess if I'm to like if we're stay there for a quick second, this would be my thing though. And this is where I think like the Doge thing is kind of like weird. And like I'm like, man.
Well, I found out something about that too. That actually came from Obama, but we'll go there. Doge was actually already something. This was just a program that Obama had already put in place, and he changed the name of it and gave it a little bit more permission.
Well, I guess what you're talking about is like, because like from Clinton, there's been different organizations within the government that have like looked to understand and see, in essence, audit what's happening within the government and its systems and the workers and the money and how it's spent.
Now, when has the government audited itself and came back and said, "Hey, we owe the American people"?
Hey, but it's
money.
about who's doing the auditing, though.
Right. And this is where I'm gonna get to. Like, I'm gonna just go on. Like, I am not an Elon guy. I'm not an Elon fan at all. And yeah, I think my question today deals with him. But what I would say is that to me, this is the part with Doge that I think is weak and kind of corny. Is like if you're looking at USID, which is like less than 1% of the government's budget and allocation, or like you're looking at like these grants and funds of like early child, like all these different little random little spaces in which these aren't the heavy allocated spaces in which are even during audits are the biggest players of who is missing money.
Right.
And this is what you're presenting in the forefront. Like you can easily go to the Pentagon, who fails every year at the biggest amount. Why haven't we heard anything about these motherfuckers yet? Like
they
there's
mentioned something about that.
I haven't.
They did say something about the Pentagon.
What have they said about you? You have to show me. I haven't seen like
they went after education and all.
I'm pretty sure I remember seeing they found money misallocated from the Pentagon.
But not the $1 trillion that we know is missing.
Yeah, like I haven't seen like the Pentagon loses the most money annually than anybody, and we're not looking at the people that are like 2% of the of what's missing, 20%, 50%. Like we're looking at the 1%. My bad, less than 1%, and that's why I'm like it's kind of like a smoke and mirrors game
or a witch hunt. Almost.
Like it's just like a weird thing because of like if you actually are doing the thing, there's places where you can find so much more money.
And there's a lot more
once
money.
Again, I asked about the implications of if they're telling the truth. What does the implications look like? What does that look like for us?
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
if they're telling the truth about this money that they're finding within the government,
then there means there's a lot more.
It means we're to get the money back.
Tone, it means there's a lot more money out there, and we're gonna get way more.
I would love for them to go other places than like these weird places that only benefit Elon and his interests.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they're going after the post office. Now, they're going after the post office saying that the post office is losing so much money and they had to allocate money towards them within all the money that they have lost, because that's from technology. Not as many people is using the post office. And prior to when they speaking of the post office, it was a private sector that was a sector of the government. The post office took no money from the government beforehand, before they started losing money. The post office made all their money off of postage stamps, and that's it. You understand what I'm saying? So you have a part of the government that took no money from the government for over 150 years. Yet for the last 15 years or so, they've been taking a break and had to, you had to cut checks for them. And you're mad at that, but you pull major institutions like the banks and these business partners and like these car companies.
What about like government contractors, in which Elon is a literal government contractor that makes hand and fist over like overpriced dollar that he actually like he's selling fucking Tesla as a government contractor that's auditing the government. That doesn't make sense at all.
It doesn't.
Like, that's literally the conflict of interest. And like the thing is that like because of it's such a auxiliary organization, they don't have to adhere to the exact rules of somebody that's been actually duly elected. To where like Congress, you can't have a business and also like, operate as Congress. Like Trump,
basically he
is shitting on the people that he's in business with and doing things that's that's beneficial to the things of his interests and his contracts. All it's an interesting little space to me that is weird to just drag on like the Department of Education, where the department, like if you understand how the Department of Education gets its funding, majority of it is through tax dollars.
Tax dollars.
Like who gets the Department of Education money when it comes down to like all the shit the government gives that's like grants and like student loans and shit like that for college kids. But that's the majority of where that money comes in.
Everything that you're speaking of right now is things that's been happening for all these years, right? And they've been taking care of them for all these years. You have one institution that never asked a dime from the government for anything for all these years, and you're going to shut them down and basically start over with private sectors of them. Can you imagine what this private sector of your mail would look like if they didn't have to go through the strenuous of these, even though half the people that work
private sector of education? Like this is the part that like niggas kind of don't understand, is that the people that benefit from pure school choice is rich folk.
Exactly.
Because of now they literally are able to allocate the money and like whatever, like the money that like the little bit of money that they give to the average person. People that have real money, like they're the ones that benefit. The people that get shitted on when it comes down to this is all poor people. Because if you want to see a caste system actually happen, make it to where there is no board of education and there is no school zoning. Like, like, how do you think that that's going to break itself down?
We would go beyond the 1950s and 60s. We would go back to the 1700s. You understand what I'm saying? Where it's nobody. The thing is at least right now we have it put out into a place with the board of education and things like that, where they have to teach this or they're teaching this or that, whatever. At least all children are supposed to. They're supposed to learn the same exact things. You know.
Right. Oh yeah, this is also a point. Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? It's area wise, and it depends on the teachers and how good the board is. And all. It goes down to things like that. But at least they are getting the fundamentals.
Yeah, and what you're saying is that, like, if you eliminate the board of education, there is no standard rubric to which each kid should be learning at each level in each district and each socioeconomic level. We all understand that it's not perfect, and obviously education needs reform. But if you would completely eliminate it, like, there's a wild west that does open up. Tone.
Okay, so part of what matter of fact, I'm just gonna go here because we're running out of time.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna skip to the part of the reason I was asking this question is because of this meme here.
Okay.
So the meme says, politics can rot people's brains to the point that they'll oppose good ideas if they come from the wrong people, quotations, and support bad ideas if they come from the right people. So I really try to not be
I agree with this right
in that area.
Yes.
Like in the area where I feel so emotional about the thing where it's like, oh, this person, because I think you can miss out on stuff. Like some people do have good intentions with bad ideas. And so it's some of the stuff that I've heard where I'm like, is this really a good idea or is this something that's part of why I was asking this question.
And I agree with you. And this is like, I'm not even like completely off on like everything Trump is doing. Like, I don't like Elon. I think Elon is all right. So
he's an opportunist.
I'm gonna throw a little bit to like my question. I know that we're kind of getting close to like
the camera got unplugged.
Hello. All right. So like I recently was watching the well, last night we actually had like a family movie night and shit. Shout out to her. She had the popcorn. It's some snacks out there right now. She had like little Kit Kats and Twixes.
I grabbed me an airhead from that.
I came in. She had the pizza set up on a little platter, some wings. Like it was fire. And we came in. We sat and we watched Gladiator 2. This is the one with Denzel.
And did he kiss that man?
Huh?
He didn't kiss that man in that movie, did he?
They didn't. I think they cut that scene.
No.
They cut
okay. But they played around along like some of those like Roman lines and shit like that at certain parts. Not like explicitly, but you could hear it, and if you was paying attention to the conversation, where they'll hint at like, well, I heard that you don't just like the women and boy, like like
go where you was going.
All right, there we go. All right, thank you. Johnny threw me there, my bad. But so in that movie, which in essence it kind of like curtails a fall of Rome, like it ends up being like a part where Rome is burning by the end of it. And Denzel, he plays the villain, and like he's a mastermind that he kind of plays aloof to the actual aloof people in power to be able to line himself up and the other people that can give him power. He has leverage over them because of like his gambling and betting and their need to do shit like that. And it made me kind of like, to me, I look at like the Elon shit where like if Rome could fall, i.e. America, I see it coming from like an outsider that's smarter than the people that he's around, that's able to properly manipulate them inside a beneficial manner. And when you look at like how much money Elon has in comparison to Trump or comparison to most people, and the power that he's starting to be able to yield and wield as he's maneuvering through this, I think that it sets itself up. I'm not saying that Rome's going to fall, i.e. America, but if you was to plant a way for it to, this would be it. An outsider that has no allegiance to America having actual real power inside the government to dictate and control it. So saying all that to go back to your meme, like I love critiquing both sides. And that's why, like, to me, my critique right now is more of an Elon critique. I think Trump probably is like more aloof than anything, but yeah, I think that there's good that can be done. Like, to me, if the audit is real, I think get rid of like all the bullshit, but don't just do it inside these social programs that doesn't affect rich people.
Yeah,
make sure that like because there's mad things that's government waste that impacts his pockets inside a very positive way.
Yeah,
and I would love for those to be cut as well.
And that's where I'm kind of wanting to see things, because what we tend to not understand is don't nobody care about our emotions on how we feel about whatever Elon is doing. We're not gonna just get him out of office by complaining and giving our emotions over it, like, oh, I don't like him and all of this.
Well,
other
Elon
stuff.
ain't even in office.
Well, he's not even in office. So, but even in the
strong-armed.
position he's in, you're not going to get any leeway from going on giving think pieces about how you don't like this man. You have to prove what he's saying is wrong. That's really what it comes down to. Everybody can come on here and give all these think pieces. We have to literally prove that what he's saying and the information that he's coming with is a lie.
But the tough thing is that, like, they have done something. Like, Elon is inside Trump's office saying that, oh yeah, the 50 million on condoms and godliness. He did do that, but he also then he said, well, I'm gonna get some shit wrong.
What?
He just kept trucking.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we get you.
The thing with Elon is, I know y'all don't watch professional wrestling, right? But
yeah, I watch
in professional wrestling, Paul Heyman is called the wise man. And what he does is he's in people's ear, and he's the person, he's not doing anything, but he's the person that affects everything that happens. Okay. You know, he's in the person that's in control. He's in the ear, he's telling them what to do or whatever. You might not hear him say it, but when you hear the person say it, you know it came from him. And that's who Elon Musk is. He's the wise man. He's the wise man, but he's more than a wise man, because he's the wise man with the money, which means he has more money than the person that's in front of him, which the person in front of him might have a position, but his money outweighs that person. And you know, anybody that loves money always goes towards the greed of a person that has money. Does, you know what I'm saying, that they're more wise than they are. And that's not always the case.
And what you're saying, like they value the opinion of somebody that has more money than them.
But I want to go on one thing lighter to go back to what we were talking about earlier was nobody mentioned the name Isaac Hayes.
It's about ugly R&B singers.
I just wanted to make everybody laugh. Isaac Hayes, ugliest nigga in the room.
And that's a complicated man.
I'm not saying ugly, but what did I say that they were? They're not ugly, but they are.
Tony, ugly R&B singers.
I'm just saying.
Oh, man. Oh, that was a good one.
No, that was.
I just want to lighten the room up a little bit. That's all.
For sure.
So if I could transition, not really transition out of this, but we got 9 minutes out. We got 9 minutes left, or 8 minutes. So I want to just transition to like one more question still along this topic, I guess. Okay. What would be the preparation that y'all recommend as far as like what you think is going to happen based off of what Elon's doing? How should we be preparing for the results of what he's doing over these next few years?
Oh shit, that's a great question.
Commodity,
Johnny, you want to go first?
I was gonna say that diversify commodities. I would say don't put all your eggs in one basket, because we don't know, like some of the baskets gonna drop. We don't know which one's gonna drop based on going, but like it's good to just spread your resources into a diverse range of things rather than just betting on like just the stock market or just your 401k. Just diversify. That way, no matter what happens, you leave yourself with options. And that'd be, that'd be my advice. I ain't a fiduciary, but that's just, Johnny P, a little bit of life advice.
Sounds good, Johnny.
I don't know. Like I think that it's such because I can't really predict what the fuck is about to happen over the next 2 years.
Right.
I think that things can like they got a clear 2-year slate. Once, like, you know what I mean, the next election comes up in 2 years, like they might lose power depending on how effective they are inside what they're doing. But right now they got a 2-year slate of having power and a free fucking ball to do what the fuck they want to. And previously, I would not have thought that life could have changed as much. But to me, for better or for worse, and maybe the Democrats who use this as for better, Trump and them niggas is showing you how to flex power, boy. They showing, hey, we gonna get or try and get the fuck done what we want to. And y'all better try and block this shit by Congress or by lawsuits because we coming in and we doing it.
You seen what he did to the governor of Maine?
Nah, I ain't seen that.
Oh man, where is it? I got it in here.
As you're looking for it, yeah, my main thing would be that to prepare for them. I think it's such a hard thing because I really don't know what to expect. I would say that, especially in the sense of like Black people, I think you probably want to go back to like that old adage of like you have to work twice as hard to get like half as much. Especially with the repealing of like the DEI and the way they're framing it. Like I think on its face, systematically, DEI doesn't hurt Black people as much as it hurts a lot of other people.
Exactly.
But when it comes down to, well, my bad, like optically on the system, it doesn't hurt Black people as much. I think result driven moving forward, it will, because of the poster child of DEI, and then like all the people that's inside these positions and that's hiring, they look at it as Black. And though we all know that it was helping white women and like Asians and Hispanics and all these other things, I think that they're going to look at Black candidates, especially from Black institutions and just Black candidates in general, as less than, and they have to be way more qualified to not be looked at as a DEI hire in comparison to other races. And I think that that's going to be like this weird little thing that Black people have to deal with, where they took away the thing that didn't really benefit you as much, but the recourse of it will be that you have to do more because of they assumed that you were the beneficiary, or like they propagandized that you was the beneficiary of it.
I think we're gonna have to go back to getting into trades again. I think trades are gonna be a big deal, especially as far as Black people go. I think that would be like a good way, like getting into trades, getting back into doing stuff the old-fashioned way to some degree. Learning how to grow your food, learning how the same stuff that you really kind of should be doing anyway. We all should really be doing it, but it's easier to depend on the system of things. But
I ain't growing my food, Tom.
Hey, that's on you.
I get a farm.
Grow your food. What's wrong with your hands?
You
feel like you too good? You too good to grow food? You too good to get your hands dirty?
Oh no! Listen,
then why wouldn't you grow your own food? If you had to, if it's a skill that's necessary in life,
He gonna starve. He gonna starve. He gonna starve.
Listen, so like what I'm saying is that like if we're saying something that you have to do, or something that's practical, something that makes sense, or like the reality of I'm coming to answer your question, and I'm gonna answer your question. So for me, growing my food today doesn't make sense. Like there's a certain like if we're talking about actually living off your food, how much land do you need? How many animals do you need to actually do that?
You don't
right now. I do not have
to grow food.
Say it again.
You don't have to have animals to grow food.
Oh no! Again, like if we're talking about like if I'm growing my food to live, I imagine y'all not talking about like growing food to eat once a week.
Q said he likes meat.
You do have crops that grow that fast.
I'm just saying like if then my point
plan to feed your family off of what you have right now.
You really
feed your family off of growing food, you have plenty enough land.
You just like meat.
No, we just. All right, so I'm just asking, like the land that I have and the land that most people have, you don't have enough food, and this is why, like back in the day, like it was big farms, and then you still had to go to the market to barter.
The bigger farms was always because they were also selling that food. They were selling that food as well. But if you come down to just you and your family, you have plenty enough land to grow food on.
All right, so let's talk about like how much crop does a family of I got a family of what me, Taj, QJ, family of four. A family of four eat in reality. And how much land is actually needed. I think that
you grow
what would you saying? Like it sounds but like
in a can.
Say it again.
Not a can, but a bucket. You can grow crops in a bucket. You can grow.
Oh no, but how many crops are we growing in a bucket? So like if we're talking about like eating like let's just say dinner, and we're talking about like needing rice, needing again like a broccoli, a vegetable, and then needing a meat. How much land will you actually need to eat that 7 times a day? Not 7 times a day, seven times a week. So we're talking about like
3 times a day.
So we're talking about
7
21
times a week.
meals. Like how much, and then like again, how quick does a crop of again wheat or a crop of rice grow to where in a month that in a week we're saying 21 times 3. So now we're talking about like 64, right? 63. No, 64. That's 64. No, my bad. No, that's 84. My bad. So now we're talking about 84 meals to eat for. Damn, and I'm only talking about one person. So now we're let's just go 2 adults. So now that's 164.
160.
You talking about what? 2 meals a day?
No, I'm just, right now we're talking about 3. Like if you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we're talking about like this is not talking about like we're only talking about like two people. We haven't made it to like I have a 6'3" son that's at 150 that we pretty much trying to grow to about 170, right? That eats 3 times a day as well. So now we're getting into like 200 and what's 80 plus 80 plus 80? That's 240 meals a month. In which like where am I getting all? Let's just start with like the eggs. And then let's start with the broccoli or the vegetable. And then let's start with just a meat, a protein. Where is all of this coming at? There's not enough room inside here. This is why you would need a big field to actually do this before you even think about growing it. When we think about logistically and what it actually looks like when we run the numbers down. Like we talk about like growing food and eating things inside like the quantity in which we have. It made sense back when, like, if it was getting to 40 acres or back when we had family farms in which we had multiple people to tend to it and we had acres of land to grow crops. Right now, we're having like
the problem is
we have lots of like maybe 3,000 square foot.
I understand what you're saying, and what you're saying, it might make sense. It does make sense probably to people who, but the thing is this right here. If you're growing this, your neighbor's growing that, so-and-so's growing this, that, whatever, it's a bartering system. The problem with it is that amongst black people, they do not want to barter because I have. And that's one of the things that would happen, and that's why it couldn't. But if it existed like that, so-and-so has chickens. They get eggs. I will give you some of this for those, you give me a chicken and this, that would give me some of the eggs. It's just a bartering system. It would, you know what I'm saying? It can happen. But
let me ask you this. How many people do you need growing eggs? Like if we look at my neighborhood is probably like 30 people. I would say if I'm just like roundly guessing, somewhere between 30 and 40 to 50 people. 50 houses, should I say. And so like this small neighborhood right here. How many people would need to grow eggs
to sustain the whole neighborhood?
Yeah,
maybe 2 houses full of chickens, because the average chicken I believe produces 2 to 3 eggs a day. If you have a substantial amount of chickens in your yard, you have enough eggs to sustain the whole neighborhood for the whole week and every day. Now that's that one house, and that's why the bartering system will come into play at. This person is the egg person. This next person might have a couple of cows in their backyard. Okay, they get milk. You get milk from there. You don't always have to have meat for everything. You know that yourself. Meat isn't a necessity for us in that right there, but you use the thing that comes from there. And you have the person that has the chicken, you have another person that has a yard full of chickens, and they can sustain them to where they might be able to give each family one chicken a week, one piece of meat a week.
Chickens grow fast, bro. They grow really fast.
No. But think about, or like if you just say one chicken a week for 40 people, and then that's like 100 and.
So you're thinking in terms of eating the same way we do now. If inflation goes up and people can't afford food the same way, they're not going to be able to afford the same meals and be able to eat the same.
We're going to be in a Hunger Games.
So that's why I'm asking, with the stuff that y'all are saying, with some of the stuff that's being said about, like, I kind of see it as fear mongering almost, but with some of the stuff that's being said about like what's going to happen, and the price is going to go up and we ain't going to be able to afford nothing and all of this stuff. And then
that's Johnny with bad geopolitical foreign policy.
Yeah, that's why I said it's just a matter of,
I ain't running shit.
You have a neighborhood. A neighborhood could become a community that takes care of each other.
Exactly.
So that's all I'm saying.
I think that smaller neighborhoods with more land definitely can. I don't know if
your neighborhood is big enough to take care of each other.
I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough land for crops.
If they'd have to work,
unless we can like if my whole block right here, if we only growing, but all right, I don't think that's enough crops to grow. We don't got enough land, bro.
And it's
all right.
No, all right. So this is what I'm thinking, and I understand what you're saying. Like the egg thing might make sense, but when we start going into like the wheats, the rices, like all things that come with, like all the things that goes with like growing.
If you are from
bread and meals, that
doesn't have rice.
Just like we got a bunch of families. Just like if I just look at this block right here, so each house like this, it might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Like let's say 12 houses just on this one street right here. But in that house, we have people with multi-families. So like them Dominicans down the street, they got like 7 adults inside that house. The house next to them, they got like 3. Then you go like 4 or 5.
You have to go towards household. You have to go towards household and
but listen what I'm saying. What I'm talking about, like the only way that I can see some things being feasible if everybody can join yards to grow crops.
Exactly.
But then to me, to grow those crops inside, like, because in like 2024, 25, or I bought this house inside 2020. Like you're not giving these massive lots. So
but
like
that's what I'm saying. What you're saying right here is the community getting built. Community getting built. If you take up the fences, a community is built within everything. Everyone is doing their portion and share with that. On the other side of the street,
you had more land back in the day.
You might have. You say it's not back in the day.
All you need is a corner to grow vegetables.
It can happen.
Yeah, like we got vegetables in my yard at the house, and it's not a big lot, like just right in the.
But are y'all eating vegetables every single day from that garden?
We not growing as much right now. We was growing tomatoes at the time. It's all a matter of the crops that you're growing. So we're not growing a whole bunch of.
But if you got 4 people and y'all eating 3 times a day, and that's 7 days a week, and like y'all, let's say that you're using a tomato per. How quickly does a tomato grow back?
Tomatoes can grow every day. We literally carry tomatoes off the tree every day.
No, but all right, so
literally every day.
But it takes time for a tomato crop to actually grow and form from that seed.
A tomato crop all the way take about a month or so to grow, bro. It don't take a long time.
No, but like in a month, think about how many times you have to eat. If that's the crop that you're growing right there in mass.
Bro, you sitting there trying to eat. If you're trying to eat off of, I'm not looking at this thing as a thing of like we need to be eating like we're eating all the way. But if you have to survive, and that's like I think it's something
we can make it together.
When you talk about like Hunger Game, minimal starving, surviving, in my opinion. If you just break down, all right. So why are we talking about like are we trying to like grow food just to like scrape together to survive?
No, I think you should start putting some stuff together so you don't have to go buy as much food. That's part of why I'm saying buy food. You don't have to go buy.
All I'm saying is that we're gonna have to buy food. That's the only thing that I was saying. If you say like grow your own food and buy shit, then I'm completely on board with y'all.
It's just like this. We don't stay nowhere near each other. But if I had a yard full of greens, tomatoes, and I had a pecan tree. Now, if I had all that right there, and I told Johnny, you come over, you get some of this. Johnny grew cherries, had a cherry tree in his yard. He had a cherry tree, he got an apple tree, and he might have you know what I'm saying, and he might be doing some tomatoes or something, not tomatoes, but anything.
And we actually had apples and tomatoes in my parents' backyard.
But I'm just saying, we can trade off. We can trade off and do this so and so whatever. You got the meat. Now, with you having the meat, all right, let me get 2 chickens. Let me get 2 chickens, whatever. I get 2 chickens, I bring them 2 chickens here. We so and so whatever. We can all make it survive. It's all a survival mode that we have to get into. And that's all that I'm saying to anybody. Get your bread and do survival mode. Right now, we know not what the future holds for us, but what the future can be for us if all this bullshit keep going on. So what we need to do is get ourselves together and get together and understand each other and want more for each other and make it happen with each other. Nice. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, Cavallo coming next week. We got one of the guys, the Herbs and Spices guys, in which I'm sure that this is like a lane that he lives on. I'm not on this side of the fence. I understand what y'all guys are saying, and like I get it. I'll probably just concede some of my points until next week. Actually, I'm only looking at like logistically.
Use that question though. That question that led to this, we should use that.
What was the question?
As far as like, what do we think would
do hosts work on tomatoes?
No.
Oh, my bad.
How do we need to prep for what we're seeing right now? As far as how do we think we?
Okay, yeah, not for sure. Hey, well, if just write that down somewhere.
Yeah, let's
yeah. Oh, matter of fact, put that. Just throw it inside the chat so we know the reference back to it. Yeah, no, I think that's a fire topic. Again, I know that I was a woke warrior at one point in time, and niggas was selling the dreams of like, hey, let's go off the grid. Hey, let's get our own farms and plans and this shit. And then like once I saw like breaking shit down inside like a very logistical stint for how many people was about to be trying to eat off this same land and the amount of land that niggas was trying to have, and the fact listen, we ain't gotta get into that. We're gonna save that for next week, where I can vent about some of my wokeisms that I didn't look at to see come true, and then they never did. But Unc, we appreciate you. You was low key a third mic for the last little 30 minutes. 40 minutes.
Real.
Yeah. Under the weather rail is he wasn't able to make it this week. Johnny, what did you say earlier? What? You ain't gotta eat ass from Burger King all the time.
Hey, that's what got real. It was probably that big beefy. It was probably a big beefy burrito from Chipotle that got his ass. Got your ass, nigga. I told you I was gonna get him. Big beefy burrito took his ass out.
All right, but nonetheless, shout it out. Hey, and we got a new favorite here. I love seeing Tarji and LTD interact a little bit.
Yeah.
LTO, yeah. They
shout
interact.
out Steve. Yeah, hey,
shout out
Tarji,
Steve.
we glad to see you this week. We was happy to see you.
Tarji, welcome back. We got the crew.
Yeah. Shout out Mama Sharon. We got obviously y'all see and have heard Unc, Ill Will or whatever his name is. Just the crew. It's always a good little family occasion when we sit and have conversations.
Yeah, we appreciate all y'all opinions, feedback, everything.
All the comments. Oh, we had a super chat today.
Yeah.
Shout out Teddy Hart.
Yeah. How did I miss it?
No, that was in the first lesson.
Oh yeah, that was first. Hey, but still.
Oh yeah, and Ron DeWan. My bad,
Ron DeWan. I think we hit everybody. We appreciate all y'all for checking us out. If you catching this on the later, hit us with a like, comment below, hit the subscribe button. You'll catch us. So we'll be here again Wednesday, 9:30. Unpack. Rail gonna hopefully he be back Saturday, 8:30. Who you talking to? Him and Pops. And then we'll be back here next Sunday, 4:30. It's at the To Be Fair Show. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. I am your host, Johnny P.
It's Q.
And we out.
Oh, wait. Uncle popped up. Show Unc.
Show Unc. Put his face up there.
Came over here.
Give up the split screen.
There you go.
Hey.
There you
go.
FaceTime.
All right.
Hey,
Like that,
we out.